If athleisure was a radio show, this would be that radio show. Bo Bishop, a man of fine taste and Montana class.
My wife will try and drag me to like an Easter brunch buffet, and I don't even like that because I don't like everybody standing over food I'm going to eat.
Friends with the highest intellectuals.
We found out the hard way. We have white furniture. That's all I'll say.
What a mess.
Oh, God. Holy
Literally.
An athlete, coach, husband, and father.
That drives me nuts. My kids are, I'm him. Shut up. Are you kidding me? You're 9. You're not him. I don't even know what the hell that means.
And two guys who are considerable downgrades from a former football player. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, let's do it live on a First Friday Miracle edition of the program. Bo, the boys with you for the next 3. Reese is here. The great Tyvis Powell is here as well for 3 full hours. 10 o'clock, we'll do a little higher or lower. We'll do the higher or lower. We actually have a college football playoff poll. We'll do it at 10 o'clock. Jake Trotter going to join us at 10:33. Hey, guys, at 11 o'clock. Still time to get your questions in either via the YouTube chat or via social to Reese. We will get to those at 11 o'clock. 11:33, Adam Jardy is going to stop by, covers the Buckeyes. On the basketball side of things for the Dispatch, he's going to join us at 11:33 with what he learned late Monday night in Vegas. Okay, I worked with a guy named Jim Heath at Channel 10 who, this was probably at least a decade ago, but he was there for 4 or 5 years, and he was a political reporter at Channel 10 at the time. And if memory serves, he covered the 08, very, very tightly contested 08 and 12 election cycles at that time. I mean, he may have, I don't think he got to 16. I think he had already moved on from there, but he does his own stuff now on social. But the reason I bring up Jim is because I was thinking of this last night while watching the college football bracket unveil show and then the election night coverage. So I watched both of them, like I'm sure all of us here did, and many of you out there listening probably watched a little bit of both. And he came up to me one time, and we used to do this show. It was called Wall-to-Wall Sports Primetime on the Ohio News Network. And one of the things we did on it, and then I actually did this on Wall-to-Wall Sports on Channel 10 as well, one of the segments we had was 15 and 15. So the idea was 15 topics to the panel, 15 seconds to answer a question. So it was like a 9-minute segment is the way that it worked out. By the time you asked the questions and you got 15 seconds to answer them. And he came up to me and he goes, "Where'd you get that?" And I said, I don't know. I just made it up. And he goes, "That's pretty good." He goes, "Do you mind if I do that on our political show?" I said, "No, go right ahead." And he goes, "Haven't you noticed the parallels between sports and politics and about how we talk about both of them?" And I started, and he and I, it led to like a 45-minute conversation about the similarities, about how they're contests that are won and lost, and we frame the way that we talk about them based on the side that we're for. I mean, there's no question. I mean, that's how Paul, who's going to join us tomorrow at 11:33, Paul Feinbaum views everything through an SEC prism. We view most things here through a Buckeye prism, right? And through a Big Ten prism. And so the similarities were plentiful on this side of things. And the thing that I thought about, and again, this juxtaposed to the college football playoff unveiling, it reminded me of 2014 with you guys, when you guys went from 6 all the way to 4 and in after that big win in the Big Ten championship game.
Yes.
And the reality is, nobody really knows anything. They don't. Whether it's the college football playoff poll or presidential elections, they don't really know anything. In 2016, from the presidential side, going into election night, it was Hillary, no doubt, and Trump pulled the upset.
Yeah.
2020, it was Trump, no doubt, and Biden sprung the upset.
Yeah.
Going into last night, it was a split. The last poll I saw on Friday was Kamala was up 4 points nationally. Well, it wasn't close at all in retrospect. It was not close at all. And I think there's a lesson in there that crosses over to politics and also sports, and they coexist a lot. They do. And I think one of the things that really came to mind was 2 things. One, not everybody's on social media. I think sometimes we live in a world where we think that our whole world is social.
Yeah.
And that this must be society. Well, the reality is, not everybody's on Twitter, not everybody's on Instagram or Snap or whatever you're into, Facebook, whatever, that really that is your curated silo primarily that you're hearing. You're not hearing from everybody else. So I think that's one thing that shows up in sports and in politics. And the other thing is nobody knows anything. So when you put out this poll last night and you put out this bracket and they just randomly throw teams in here for completely arbitrarily, what do I take from it? Not much, quite honestly. Not much to take out of it. But it was a surreal night juxtaposing the college football playoff thing and then election night in America. Like those two things crossed over.
Well, I will say that, the first one is always exciting because even as a player, going back to me as a player, the first one was like, all right, where they going to put us at? Because I need to see how much work we got to put in. Like that's kind of where you at with that as a player. As a fan, it's like, well, I mean, it's different for me, but like as a fan, it's like, all right, I just want to see where my team is. It was cool to see how they did the setup to where like the Buckeyes are the 2 seed, but they're going to play the first round against this. Like it was nice to see that because I think it was a lot of people that didn't quite understand that part. Like where do they fall and which round, what team would they play? I know you've done a wonderful job explaining it on this show, and we did it I think last week when we did ours, and we went through and actually we weren't that far off on a lot of these teams. Yeah. So it was cool seeing it that way. To me, I liked it. I enjoyed the first one. I still am a fan of 4. I just think it was much more suspense when you had just the 4. So, because I was a player, I just wanted to see like, all right, are we in the 4? No? Okay, we was 16, I think, the first one when we won it in 2014 or 2015. So
Mississippi State was the number 1.
Mississippi State was 1? Man,
Mississippi State was the number 1 team.
Was Dakota still there?
Dak. Was Dak? Yeah, he was in the mix. He was in the mix. They were the number 1 in the first one.
State, they ain't even smelling it nowadays.
No. That's what happens. I mean, Mullen went to Florida. And then Leach went there, and unfortunately he passed, and the momentum, it was gone at that point. It was. So the thing that I found interesting about this, fellas, is they put Ohio State second in the ranking. They could have put them 4th. It wouldn't have mattered. They could have put them 5th. It does not matter where Ohio State is at all. The best they could be is the 5.
Yeah.
Because Oregon's the 1. So the idea that they worked it out to get Ohio State in the 2 for nothing, it doesn't mean a damn thing at all. It's just nonsensical. And so I thought that was humorous. I suppose that allowed for some dialogue around Georgia being 3, even though Georgia's 2. I still don't know why. I know why they did a top 25 because obviously they need to fill an hour of a television show. But I thought that was silly to do that and have that full ranking out there as well. Go ahead, Reese.
Well, I always at least forget about this until the first ranking each year, and it could be 4-team, it could be 12-team, is that the committee's they're watching it like fans. Mm-hmm. Like they don't have any real inside information. Like they don't understand the game of football as well as a Tyvis Powell, but they watch it and a lot of it comes down to who do we think? What's the eye test?
Wait a minute.
What?
Why are they on the panel? Did Tyvis Powell need to be on the panel?
Well, I don't disagree with that point, but Ward Manuel's an athletics director at Michigan, but I mean, he's a college administrator. He's not, a football junkie. He's not breaking down a ton. I think he played at Michigan.
Is this a paid gig?
Gary Barta wasn't some football savant going on the 33rd Team podcast and doing stuff for PFF.
I pointed this out the last time, and I pointed this out. Of course, well, they're not even that, Reese. That's giving them too much credit. You remember when Gene? And I use Gene because I was familiar with more of his game day routine or his weekend football routine. And he's been on this. And he did it with basketball, too. How much college football does an athletic director, how much can they watch?
They probably can watch maybe, I'd take their game.
Are you sure even that?
Yeah, you got a point there.
So you've been to these reunions?
You got to show your face at all of the sports and all that, too.
Friday night, he's going to dinner.
Yeah.
Going to dinner Friday night. On a noon game, he's got to go to Skull. He's got to go, like Ross Bjork's doing this. He's shaking hands and kissing babies all morning. Mm-hmm. Then he's entertaining in his box at noon for the game. Then he's going to go to dinner Saturday night with donors. So that's his Saturday night. There's probably a brunch on Sunday. I would assume that there's some sort of a brunch or a breakfast Sunday that you got to go to. So then what are we to believe that all of these people gather on a Sunday afternoon and pour through 40 college football games?
No, they're not doing that.
They're not doing any of that.
They're not doing that. Absolutely.
So when people,
what they're doing is looking at somebody typed up some stats and gave them the highlights of the game, and they looked at that.
And you know what else they're doing? They're framing their opinions on the Associated Press poll. Yeah. That's what they're doing. Yeah. That's why I bristle anytime someone tells me that the first college football poll of the year doesn't matter. Nonsense. Of course it matters. It shapes the way you view these teams. Alabama got in this thing.
Yeah, they did.
As the 11. Yeah. They have 2 losses already on the season.
That's Bama. They're not leaving Alabama out.
I know that, and you know that.
Unless they get 3 losses, you can't justify putting them in there. You can't.
Be careful.
No. If they get 3 losses, you cannot justify putting them in there.
Reese, you went to a better school.
Watch them.
No. You went to a very good school, Reese. Wow. How many SEC schools, how many Big Ten schools are in the inaugural bracket?
I guess 4.
4 of each, right? Total of 8. Those 2 conferences.
Yeah.
They're not going to go lower than that. So I don't care if they have 3 losses or not. There will be 4 SEC teams in this bracket. There will be 4 Big Ten. We got more to worry about with Indiana because we only have, I don't know if you noticed this, 1 through 25. We only had 4 teams ranked.
I did notice that.
That's a problem.
I did notice that.
That's a big problem. So if Indiana were to slip somewhere, because I think they have no margin for error. They talked a lot about their schedule, 100 schedule ranking in the 100s.
The Ohio State game is the big telling one. Like I say, if Ohio State
they don't have to win.
No, if Ohio State goes in there and blows the doors off of them, I think they might be in a sticky situation. If it's a competitive game, they in it. Like they're in.
Yeah. There's some stuff to unpack here with this. And I also think that what they did here is not at all a reflection on what they will do at the end. And I'll explain that coming up next. You'll also hear from Ward Manuel on some of the early thoughts and see if we can glean anything from what they had to say. Fun program for you today. Of course, a Hey Guys First Friday as well. We're off and running. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
A lot has changed in 30 years, but we're still that old shoe that feels worn in and well-loved. And, well, we smell a little, but you've accepted that. The Fan.
Erectile dysfunction is a destroyer of your confidence, of your joy and intimacy, and often it can even harm your relationship. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, the leading men's sexual health practice in our area for treating erectile dysfunction. And I want you to know today that if you're like most men, you can be free of ED and all the impacts it has on your life. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're your local provider for dealing with men's sexual health issues. Our expert medical teams are focused on treating ED, and we have highly effective treatment plans with some protocols that work in well over 90% of cases. We can even combine treatments for greater efficacy, all of which means it's very likely you'll be having great sex again within just a day or 2 of your first appointment. You might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 2 convenient locations, just off 270 in Hilliard and near the Medical Mile in Westerville.
Thanksgiving can be stressful when you're shopping on a budget. Let Family Dollar help you do more this year with amazing deals on the supplies you need for a great turkey day, from prep to cleanup. See how you could save on Thanksgiving staples like canned soups and veggies, or essentials such as disposable plates and utensils, trash bags, storage supplies, and more. For even greater savings, download the Family Dollar app, clip available offers, and redeem at checkout. Family Dollar, helping you do more.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. I love my Kubota tractor, RTV, and zero-turn I got from Green & Sons, and you can check them out online at greenandsons.com or visit them in store in Mount Sterling or north of Marysville in Raymond for all your Kubota needs.
This is Ryan Krieger, and at Krieger Ford, we know life's busy. Let us handle your car care. Enjoy our convenient pickup and delivery service, or have our technicians come to you with our mobile service van. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today, only at KriegerFord.com.
The Fan app is about to become your new best friend. Your one-stop shop for all your favorite fan shows. ESPN Columbus and BetQL. Live or on demand, listen on your schedule. Download the 97.1 The Fan app today. It's free. Do it.
If you're struggling with ED or your performance is down and your belly fat is growing, listen up. You've got one life. Now is the time to act.
At the Columbus Men's Clinic, we're not just healthcare, we're your secret weapon. Don't wait another day. Here's why you need to act right now.
Every moment you delay, your condition could worsen. It's not just about sex, it's about your heart, your relationship, your life.
The Columbus Men's Clinic has over 10 years of proven results for low testosterone and increasing drive, energy level, and performance. We've introduced ED and enhancement treatments so exclusive, you'll wonder why you waited.
Procrastination is the thief of time. When it comes to your sexual health, you can't afford to wait. Join the League of Gentlemen who've walked out of our doors with a swagger.
Call the Columbus Men's Clinic at 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. Book your $99 male performance consultation now, including blood work. Call 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. The Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
Hey, folks, it's game day, and the betting's going to be intense, Drew.
You said it, Dave, but a good pregame routine keeps betting responsible.
That's right. You got to pause before you play.
Good call. Sports betting is hot, but it can be risky.
And pausing to set limits is an all-star move.
That's right, Dave. If you bet on sports, pause before you play to set limits, recognize the risk, and know when to stop.
Learn more at pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Healthcare.gov has plans for health because you have plans for life. All plans cover doctor visits and emergency care to keep you and your family running strong. All plans cover hospital stays and prescriptions so you can have peace of mind. Visit healthcare.gov to explore health plans from the brands you know. 4 out of 5 customers can find a health plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Enroll at healthcare.gov by December 15th for coverage starting January 1st. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
It'll be a wet Wednesday morning commute. Rain is expected before 9 o'clock in the morning, then cloudy and dry this afternoon, high 71. Dry tonight, low 50. Sunshine returns tomorrow with a high of 64. I'm meteorologist Dylan Rubshod with your 10 weather impact forecasts on 97.1 The Fan.
Pull up a stool and ask the bartender for something neat, because Uncle Bo is on the radio. This is Bishop and Friends.
And we invite you to join us for an unforgettable evening. It's a week from yesterday, next Tuesday, the 12th. High Bank Distillery in Grandview. Thrilled to invite you to the release of our exclusive fan barrel picks. We put a great deal of work into these. I'm really convinced you're going to love all 3 of the barrel picks we did. There are some attention getters in there, to say the least. Proceeds benefit Brady Quinn's Third and Goal Foundation, making a difference in the lives of veterans. Enjoy exclusive barrel picks, delicious food pairings, live music, and a meet and greet with select athletes. For tickets and more information, head to 971thefan.com. Must be 21 or older. Please drink responsibly. So here is, this is just so arbitrary what they did last night. It's fun and it's good fodder for us, but I don't believe for a second that they would do what they did in the 6-11 and pit Texas and Alabama in the first round. I think a very simple switch there would just be if Alabama is in, just make them the 10 and have them play Penn State and have Notre Dame play Texas. I don't think they're going to go conference versus conference in the first round of this thing. And I don't think they're going to want to give you anything you've seen before. So in addition to that, could I see them moving the 1, 2, and 3 and 4 seeds around to make sure that doesn't happen? Yeah, I could. There are no rules here. They can do whatever they want. They are making television shows. So Ohio State coming in at 2 is a bunch of nonsense. It's just utter nonsense. It means nothing in that side of things. And so they will create television shows that I think we haven't seen before. Ward Manuel is the committee selection chair. He's the athletic director at Michigan. He was asked why Ohio State was ranked ahead of Georgia. Here's his answer.
They both had great wins in terms of on the road, Ohio State against Penn State this week, Georgia at Texas. But what we felt is in terms of the losses they had, Ohio State lost to number 1 Oregon by 1, and Georgia lost at Alabama, who's ranked number 11. And so that was really the difference. I mean, we're splitting hairs in terms of looking at 2 great teams.
So how do you guys view when they say, like, for example, one of the things that was a common talking point last night was Texas doesn't have any quality wins. Like, that was something they said. And I'm thinking, well, wait a second. Like, so I guess this what comes down to is, do you give team a credit for beating the team they beat on the day they beat them? So what I mean by that is, on the day that Texas beat Michigan was ranked, what were they, 10th?
That's a great question. I was going to ask you about this, actually.
So on the day that they beat Oklahoma, I mean, that's still Red River. It's a rivalry game. Oklahoma has talent. They have not had a good season, but they don't get credit for winning the Red River game because Oklahoma's not ranked. Like, if Alabama loses this week to LSU, then Alabama's no longer a quality win? And all of a sudden, Georgia's loss at Bama is, my God, they lost to Bama. Bama sucks. Well, we all seen Bama. Bama does not suck. So how can they do that? How should they do that? Maybe that's the better question. How should they view early season success or defeat when the opponent at the time had a reputation that maybe it hasn't lived up to over the course of the season?
See, that's the problem right there with polls before November, because it brings this argument up right here. If there was no polls, then you would just have to go off of just strictly the eye test. And the fact that we sitting here now, to answer your question, no. Like, I don't think you get credit for beating the Wolverines because they're not a good team.
But were they, Reese?
I think going and winning a game at Michigan when Michigan had a number next to its name should be held in high regard. And I don't necessarily think the issue is the poll itself, more the pollsters and how they're going to view and judge things differently. That's why there's a committee of them, so they can come to some sort of consensus, whatever that's going to look like. I do think that games played at the beginning of the season, if it's a game at number 10, Michigan, or if it's Alabama for beating Georgia, or if it's, Alabama or LSU for if they beat Alabama, like I consider those good wins regardless of when they happen in the season.
I'm more with you. I'm more with you than I am with T from the standpoint of things change over the course of a season. Injuries happen.
I agree.
Teams' emotional connectivity changes. Their give a damn changes. You lose at some point. You're like, oh man, enough of this. Especially in this world with portal and free transfer and everything else. I'm going to tell you what, Notre Dame. I don't care what happens to Texas A&M the rest of the way. They got 2 losses. Notre Dame going to Texas A&M week 1. That's a hell of a win. That's a good win to go do that. And if Texas A&M peters and ends up being a 3, 4, 5 loss team, I'm not going to minimize that loss. Or that win, rather, from Notre Dame by going in there. And I would do the same thing with use Penn State for an example. The USC team that Penn State beat is not the USC team that is being put out there now.
No, they just benched their quarterback.
That's exactly right. They pushed the chips in.
Yeah, they're done.
They're done. They're good. They're cooked. But when Penn State beat them, that's a nice win.
I agree.
Go to Southern Cal and get a win. That's a nice win.
At that time?
I think they were. I think they were ranked at that time.
Okay.
But that's the thing that's so tricky is quality wins, quality losses, but also when those wins and losses take place.
I guess y'all can talk me into it. It's not like I'm that sour on it all. I mean, yeah. I just when you look back on it, it's like Penn State. Penn State's biggest win was Illinois. And at the time, Illinois was rolling. And you look back on it now, Illinois – on like a 2-week losing streak or something like that. They got like 3 losses on the season. So it's like now it looks like, all right, what was Penn State's best win? Like that's kind of what it looks like now. But I guess I can see what you're saying at the time. It was a big win for them and they were ranked and all of those things. So yeah, it do hold a little more juice to it. Yeah, I guess I don't have no problem with it. I don't.
I look at it the same way as you'd look at like a college basketball resume, right? Like Ohio State beating Texas on Monday. Like Texas was ranked 19th in the country. And so if they fall out of the top 25, like should that penalize the Buckeyes if they need, a resume in March?
No.
Or if they need a resume point in March? Like I do think that if you win a game like that, or if you're Texas and you win a game at number 10 Michigan, like that should count as much as it does in September to the same in December.
Don't they? They are doing that, right?
What now?
To some teams.
They still, the way they did this CFP.
The way they did this one.
Wins hold weight.
But it could change next week.
But it'll change. I'll tell you the one. Greg McElroy made the best point on the show last night. And his point was about BYU. And he said about how BYU is disrespected being ranked as low as they are. And I was like, well, don't worry, they're the 4. But the problem is that who's behind BYU. They ranked Boise State 12. So if Boise State is not locked in the 12 slot.
BYU beat Boise, right?
No. Boise State's only loss is to Oregon. BYU beat SMU, which is SMU's only loss. Boise State, if they keep winning, and there's carnage in the Big Ten, there's definitely going to be carnage in the SEC because they all still play each other. If Boise State can get to 8 or 9 and the Big 12 champion falls behind them, like if BYU is upset somewhere, which is in play, Boise State, theoretically, Reese, correct me if I'm wrong, Boise State could get a bye because they would be the highest ranked conference champion?
Theoretically, yes.
That's
they're not that far from that because BYU is what, 9th in this thing?
Yeah.
So
what's BYU's schedule?
If Boise State pops past them,
BYU's got Utah and then Cake, and I think the only legit team BYU would see would be in a Big 12 title tilt.
But I mean, Utah could get him in the Holy War game.
That's this week.
That's a rivalry game. That can happen.
That's a 10.
That wouldn't shock me.
Too.
So watch for that. That to me, and McElroy was on that, and I thought that was pretty adept for him spotting that part of it. Lots to unpack on this. We'll do it in higher lower coming up at 10 o'clock. Coming up next, can Will Howard be the quarterback to lead Ohio State to a national championship? We'll get to that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Matty Ice has a large tattoo on his calf of LeBron eating a lion. I have nothing else to say. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just a slogan. That's the Care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Get everything for your next project today at Menards and save big money. We carry everything to help you breathe easier. Allergen air filters help prevent seasonal allergy symptoms and improve your indoor air quality by capturing microparticles while allowing maximum airflow. Save big on allergen air filters when you shop at Menards. View the weekly flyer and all of our great deals happening this week on Menards.com.
Save big money at Menards.
Go beyond your field of study and get a world-class education in leadership. As an Army officer, you'll work side by side with peers who support your growth, and you'll become a role model, mentor, and decision maker in any environment, at any scale. It's a challenging path, but along the way, you'll sharpen your skills and show yourself and those around you exactly what you're capable of. Decide to lead at goarmy.com/officer.
The OSU Army ROTC has scholarships available. Learn more at arotc.osu.edu.
Hey there, friends. It's Bo Bishop here. Join us for a special First Friday live broadcast in High Bank Distillery in Grandview. It's Wednesday, November 13th, 9 to noon. Check out our exclusive fan barrel picks and enjoy High Bank's famous chicken and biscuits from High Bank Distillery and The Fan.
The time to save big is now. It's Ford Truck Month at your local Ford dealer, and the time to buy is now. Make way for great offers across an amazing lineup of Ford trucks, featuring the built Ford Tough F-150 and Super Duty. Check out the versatile Ford Maverick and the capable Ford Ranger. But you can't wait. These limited Truck Month deals won't last. Check it all out at buyfordnow.com. Then get over to your local Ford dealer today. Hurry in, as these deals won't last long.
At Metal Supermarkets, we're all about getting you and your crew to quit in time sooner. That's why our service is a cut above. You see, no matter the project, we'll get you to the right metal, shape, and grade. Cut to any size, ready real fast. And yeah, we'll deliver. Leaving plenty of time for the important things, like opening an ice-cold can of aluminum. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience store for metal.
Hear those leaves crunching under your feet? Feel that cool nighttime air? It's definitely fall in Ohio. Fall is the perfect time to have the Waterworks inspect and tune up your furnace before the cold winter months hit. To inspect and protect your family against those wintertime furnace breakdowns, call 614-232-2222. Or visit thewaterworks.com today to schedule your fall furnace inspection and tune-up. Winter is just days away.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here for my friends at Affinity Whole Health. Affinity is the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy, but they are also much more than that. They help men and women who are experiencing things like low energy, low libido, muscle loss, and weight gain. Turn it all around. You can feel amazing and live better just like I can. It can be delivered right to your door, which is tremendous. Semaglutide for weight loss and testosterone and hormone replacement therapy for so much more. I've been a customer for years and it works. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Are your feet stopping you from being active and making it difficult to get healthier? Trade in your bad feet for good feet. Wouldn't it be nice to work, walk, and play pain-free again? Visit the Good Feet store today or visit goodfeet.com.
November is Veterans Month, and Awaken 180 is honoring all active duty veterans and spouses with 15% off your entire program, plus the same free support for life all clients receive. Celebrate Veterans Month with 15% off at awaken180weightloss.com.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medications. The solution for weight loss. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
What's up?
What's up, man? What's up with you?
Sponsored by High Bank Distillery, home of the best blended whiskey in America. Grab a bottle or dine in at their 3 restaurant locations, Grandview, Gahanna, and now in Westerville. Drink local. Drink High Bank.
And here's what's up on a First Friday Miracle edition of the program. Buckeyes 38-point favorites against Purdue on Saturday. That game, of course, will be big noon. Gus and Joel on the call as the number 2 ranked Buckeyes host Purdue this Saturday. I did notice in Ryan Day's press availability yesterday, I was listening to it after our show was over, and about every other question he would randomly bring up how we better be ready for Purdue. So he's well aware of it. Look, you got the first college football poll yesterday. Buckeyes come in at number 2. The goals are still very much in front of them. The table is set now for them to play themselves into being the number 1 overall seed in this thing. And there is, if you just pull the thing up, there's a great deal that comes with being that number 1 overall seed. You're talking about a bye. You're talking about playing an 8-9 and then a 4-5 from that point on. That's a nice spot to be if you are the Buckeyes. So all of the goals are in place. The question, I think, coming out of the Penn State game, and we talked about this on Monday a little bit, my friend, was this notion of Will Howard does everything except for 1 or 2 things a game that you go, oh gosh, don't do that.
Yeah.
And those don't do that's have been borderline catastrophic in the biggest games. They've been critical turnovers, pick 6, so forth and so on. Will Howard does everything else. It checks a box. It checks the box. The question is, do you believe in him being good enough to lead Ohio State and being clutch enough to lead Ohio State to their ultimate goal, which is a national championship? Howard's available every Tuesday, just like an NFL quarterback is every week. I love what Ohio State's doing, what Jerry Emig is doing on this front with Will, just keeping him at that availability. Obviously, he's very comfortable in that setting. He was asked yesterday how confident he is to be the guy to lead Ohio State to that ultimate goal.
I mean, I'm very confident. At this point in the season, if I were to sit here and say that I wasn't confident, I feel like that'd be a pretty big problem. I'm very confident, and that's just because I trust in my training and I trust in the Lord and His plan for me. I trust in my teammates, and at the end of the day, man, what God's will is will happen. But at the end of the day, man, I'm going to go out there and give it my all, and I know that I have what it takes to get it done. I didn't play my best game against Penn State, but I feel like I do play well. I think maybe I let the emotions get the most of me a little bit at some points. But at the end of the day, man, like I came here for one big reason, and that's to win a national championship. And that's still ahead of us. And I'm thrilled about this win. But, at this point, we're past it. It's just a stepping stone and what we needed to do to stay on the trajectory, to get to where we want to get. But, man, I believe in myself and my abilities because, I got the best supporting cast in the country. And, I'm humble. I try to stay humble and just believe that I got to keep working and keep getting better. But, I think that's the encouraging thing, too, is that, I feel like I've played pretty good football this year, but also haven't played my best, and I think that's still out in front of me.
He's played excellent football. Statistically, he's better at this point than we thought he would be.
Yeah. I think that the one thing that he said that was interesting to me was when he said that, he didn't play his best game against Penn State because he let his emotions get the best of him for a little bit. And that was interesting to hear because it's not like he hasn't played in big games. I think the fact that when he says that the Penn State, I guess it was because it was Penn State, which he probably won't see again, maybe in the playoff, maybe
the playoff.
Yeah, maybe. So, but even if he did, I think the good news is that he's gone against them. He did it in their place, and he's already withstand that to the point where he won't have to worry about that emotion aspect of it again. Because I think at Kansas State, he played in the big game. He played Alabama in, what was it, the Cotton Bowl or something like that?
Yeah, he played Big 12 championship games.
Yeah. So, like, he knows he's already been through that part. So that's going to make him he's going to play fine for the rest of the year. I do think that the best thing is that he do got the support and cast because at some point, after he throws the pick six and he realizes his emotions getting the best of him, I wonder how it went. Was it somebody came to him and like, hey, bro, you good? You got this? And then he settled down? Or did he figure it out himself? Like, you know what? I'm doing too much. Let me just calm myself down and get back out there. I'd be interested to find out what took place on that sideline after that pick six.
I think that's critical. I also think when you start having the conversation about who in the country has complete confidence. I'm talking fan base. Every coaching staff, players are going to have confidence in their guys. What fan base has complete confidence in their quarterback right now of the teams that can win a national title, that are talented enough to do it? Because you better be talented enough. Oregon, you better be deep enough.
Oregon.
I think Dillon Gabriel is the clear number one on that front. He's the guy. He's the one. The Oregon fan base, you wake up every morning, you go, if we get to play in the playoff and we get to make a run at this thing, I believe that quarterback can make the plays. Do you think Georgia has that feeling about Carson Beck?
No.
The way he's played?
Cam Ward.
I don't know. They haven't. Their schedule is so paper thin.
They don't have an issue with Cam Ward. It's the rest of the team I think they believe in Cam Ward in Miami. I just think this the defense is what they.
Texas.
Do they believe in
silence is death?
Wait a minute.
I think they tell you they do, but if you've watched,
they might believe in the guy behind him, Reese.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
The issue with Texas is that we seen that song and dance. They literally took Quinn out and put Arch in for what, 3 plays or a series?
2 series.
Something, yeah.
It's at the end of the half against Georgia.
How am I supposed to look past that, Bo? Like, you don't believe in him because you took him out.
Okay, so this is why we're doing the exercise. Drew Aller at Penn State?
No. They didn't even let him throw the ball down the field.
Nico at Tennessee? No.
No, because he had his loss.
Ran out of bounds against Arkansas.
Yeah. I don't think Indiana and BYU have the depth of talent to make long runs in this because I think you have to have both of those things. Do I think if Alabama got in, do they have the depth of talent? They have big flaws, but do they have the depth of talent? Yeah, I think they probably do. They probably have quite a bit of confidence in Milroe.
Their receivers is still questionable to me.
Got one kid
outside. Yeah,
he had 20 targets in the Tennessee game.
I know. I can't believe this. I'm really shocked that they don't have another guy.
Nussmeier at LSU. Yeah, probably if they can find their way in.
Yeah.
Ole Miss with Jackson Dart, probably.
Yeah,
Shedeur Sanders at Colorado.
They believe in him.
But that's about it. No one else is getting in. I mean, like, Clemson might like Klubnik, but they're not getting in. They're sick. They're done. It's cooked. The Jennings kid at SMU, maybe.
Look
if they can find their way in.
You got to throw the ponies.
But I don't know that they have the depth.
Got to throw the ponies in there, don't you?
They're my guys, man. I don't think they have the depth of talent to make a run for it. So I guess the point of this is with the exception to Dillon Gabriel at Oregon, I don't know that there's any fan base who's like, oh yeah, you're probably right on Cam. I'll grant you that. I bet you like Miami fans are like, we got a dude. Like they think he's gonna win the Heisman.
Yeah.
Like that's the guy. We've completely believed that he can be a wizard and win games.
He's also done it like 3 times this season. So like he has it on paper. They believe in him 100%.
I got news for you. Miami is not. They're going to be 12-0. They got Georgia Tech this weekend. Then they're off. Then they host Wake Forest. Then they're at Syracuse. And then they'll likely play SMU in the ACC championship.
Kyle McCord is their only flaw, their only hope to stopping them from being undefeated.
It's a tricky game. It's Carrier Dome. It's late November.
Is Syracuse bowl eligible right now?
They got to be close, right? They're 6-2.
Okay.
They are bowl eligible. Yeah, they're 6-2. SMU goes Boston College at Virginia, Cal. So they're going to be 11-1, and Miami could be 12-0. You could find a way to get 2 of those ACC teams in if that holds. But back to the Will Howard conversation. It's so close. It's just have your mistakes be little mistakes. Don't have them be catastrophes. Like don't have them be pick sixes or fumbles inside the 5. If he throws a pick in the first half of the game, but it's not a walk-in, okay, fine. Like everyone's going to throw a pick from time to time. If he fumbles while getting sacked, but it's not fumbling going in to go up 2 scores, fine.
The good news is he got 2 weeks to try to play perfect. That's the thing.
Do you think he needs to? I don't think he needs to play
not play perfect, but not turn the ball over. Can we get 2 weeks of not turning the ball
just
over?
Clean?
Yeah. Like I don't care if you don't throw for 300 yards. Just no interceptions, no fumbles. I feel like he can. You should be able to do that for the next 2 weeks.
He can do that, and you should ask that of him.
Next 2 weeks, right?
I'll go 3.
Indiana's defense.
You got to keep it clean against Indiana.
I mean, if he doesn't keep it clean against Indiana, he's leaving the door open for Indiana to win that game. And they are the number one.
Have you seen them in person?
Defense.
Have you been to their campus?
When I did the tailgate show, I did not stay for their game. They played Maryland.
Okay.
I didn't stay for the game though.
Yeah, I'm going to be watching them more closely now.
Yeah,
because of their 3 weeks out, and we'll see if they can get there and what that's going to be.
They legit. Listen. When I do my little breakdowns of them every week, that defense gets taken. They get turnovers. They get TFLs. Then they force takeaways, force fumbles, picks. I'm telling you, they're pretty good. They are really good. There's a reason why they're the number 1 defense in the Big Ten. Like they are legit.
This defense here is pretty good as well. It was a big response in the game at Penn State. You'll hear from defensive coordinator Jim Knowles on what was different this time around coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. Just freak the hell out of someone. The Fan.
To Central Ohioans, fall means one thing, football. At Sears Heating and Cooling, fall also means one thing, furnaces. We're not plumbers or electricians. Nope. For 74 years, we've been your Central Ohio heating and cooling experts. Need an electrician or plumber? We'll gladly give you a referral, but we won't pretend to be your one-stop shop for all the trades. We're HVAC experts, and our mission is to provide the highest quality service at the best possible price. That's the local advantage of doing business with your neighbors at Sears Heating and Cooling. Online at SearsHeatingCooling.com.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Right now, save big on 6 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Select varieties are just $2.99 each with your card and digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
APCO Windows, Siding, and Decks. As a family company, my dad started in 1962. We don't rely on sales gimmicks, so get multiple estimates. Just make sure one of them is from APCO.
Absolutely, absolutely. You can trust APCO.
APCO.com.
Hey, it's Anthony. Do more with your money at Tel Ohio Credit Union. If you know Tel Ohio Choice Checking, you know all the perks that come with your account. Cash in your benefits by setting up an account today. Find out more at telohio.org.
Certain restrictions apply. Tel Ohio is open to all in Central and Southwestern Ohio. Federally insured by NCUA.
What's better than cheering the Buckeyes on to victory? Wearing our exclusive collection of OSU jewelry as you watch. Hi, this is Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. We're an officially licensed jeweler of The Ohio State University, and we've created beautiful Buckeye jewelry that will last a lifetime. From Blocko earrings to Diamond Script Ohio necklaces, we've got luxury Buckeye gifts starting at $99. No matter where you're watching, show your Buckeye love at the Diamond Cellar, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Can't make it to the game? Watch the Fan's pre- and post-game shows live on YouTube. Just search 97.1 The Fan and click subscribe.
The Fan's YouTube channel is sponsored by Coors Light.
Your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan.
Gambling too much? I'm Abdullah Mahmood, problem gambling counselor at Mary Haven, where we offer in-person, virtual, and group options. We're here for you no matter what, and that's a bet you can actually count on this football season. Go to maryhaven.com today.
Hi, I'm Joanna Williams, General Manager at Tansky Sawmill Toyota. Is it time for a new or used car? Visit Tansky Sawmill Toyota on the corner of Sawmill and 161, home of the Tansky Promise, where our salespeople aren't paid on commission. We have a 72-hour exchange policy, and every transaction is upfront and transparent. You can even start the process at home. Visit TanskySawmillToyota.com to start your purchase today and to see all of this month's specials. And when you think Toyota, think Tansky.
Open a Platinum Rewards Visa at Kemba Financial Credit Union and secure super low everyday rates so you can pay down debt faster. Apply now at Kemba.org to unlock 2% cash back on purchases for a limited time and pay 0% interest for a full year on balance transfers plus exclusive perks. Restrictions apply. Offer ends October 31st, 2024.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Did you wake up with joint pain? I know how that feels, but not anymore thanks to QC Kinetics. Just like me, you deserve pain relief with no surgery and no meds. And if you're a good candidate for these new treatments, Dr. Ray Tesner and his team at QC Kinetics can get you there like they did for me and my dad. You see, my dad and I trusted QC Kinetics because they are the nation's leader in regenerative cellular treatments. This technology that's giving people like you and I an option other than surgery, all natural approach to treat the root cause of your arthritic pain. QC Kinetics joint pain treatments can be life-changing for so many people. And I can tell you, and I can attest, I needed surgery. And my dad, his knee was bothering him, and he can walk now. And I can go run and do the things I want to do. We got relief just like tens of thousands of other people. And it's getting near the end of the year, so you can use those HSA and FSA funds before they may expire at year's end. So go check them out at 380-208-4544, 380-208-4544. That's QCkinetics.com/Columbus in Dublin and Gahanna.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Patriot Air Comfort Systems in Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan.
If you love a good pie analogy,
think of the cap as a pie, and once you take out one piece, there's less left for the next guy.
Then this is the radio show for you. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
And we're sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss, fast, sustainable weight loss without the medications. The solution for weight loss is Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Higher, lower coming up in about 10 minutes. The Buckeye defense showed up and showed out against the Nittany Lions, giving up just 6 points. Jim Knowles available on Tuesday and addressed the defense's play against Penn State, and that is the expectation.
You're happy for the players, for all the work they put in, and, we've been preaching that has to be our standard. It just has to be the expectation. So it builds confidence, and I think not just in the players, but the whole team or the whole staff or fans. I mean, when you have a defense that you can count on, I think it just mentally gives everybody a sense of calm.
The loss to Oregon changed a lot. Obviously, for this team, and there was a lot's been made of the adjustments that were made after that. Knowles addressed those changes yesterday in terms of the work that the unit put in after the Oregon loss.
It's just a process of going back to the basics. Alignment, things got out of whack in that game somewhat, and you're just trying to give the players every chance to succeed. So for me, it just all goes back to the basics. You can get yourself out of whack sometimes trying to match people up and get everybody in the right places and be perfect. In that game, or really any game, we realized it's more important just to have guys with their feet set and ready to play when the ball is snapped. So it's really just back to basics.
Go ahead.
That's interesting because, so remember when when Ryan Day got the job, he went out and he hired Jeff Hafley as his DC. And Jeff Hafley was my defensive back coach when I was with San Francisco. So the funny thing is, when he was the DC here, I used to come back to the Woody all the time because Hafley was like my favorite NFL position coach I've ever had. Like he was a genuine, legit guy. If he said he gonna do something, he's gonna do it. So I had a ton of respect for Hafley. And I come back here and he's like, this is the 2019 year. He's like, Tyvis, I'm teaching them all the stuff from San Francisco and all these things. And he said, I was so stressed out trying to figure out, because I'm looking at the tape and I'm like, how are we going to stop this and that, this and that? And I'm trying to come up with ways to figure out how we're going to stop this, how we're going to get this matchup, all of that. And he said, you know what I totally forgot? What I had to realize? This is Ohio State. We got better talent than a lot of people. It. So I just line it up, play a simple thing, make sure everybody's on the same page, and just let them do their thing. And to hear Jim Knowles talk and say what he just said, it seems like to me he was going through the same thing Hafley was going through. Like, he's so worried about how we going to stop this and that. And you forget the fact that, dude, we got this Ohio State. We got some of the best. We got the best talent in the world. Like, just put them out there. Don't confuse them and let them make plays.
Jeff Hafley had to do that because in the NFL, you've got to be a genius and you got to put everybody's equal.
That's what he said. He said, I'm still thinking like an NFL DB or DC.
Jim Knowles came from Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
There aren't many matchups where he has more talent, absolutely, than the team across from him, and certainly not in his most important game against Oklahoma. Oak State doesn't have the type of talent. This is keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You know what it reminded me of? You know the Talladega Nights, the Will Ferrell movie, the NASCAR movie?
Yep.
Ricky Bobby isn't a thinker. Ricky Bobby's a driver.
Yes.
Just let your guys go. Just place. You've got better talent. Now, the thing that, and I think that's exactly what's happened here. It's too much. Keep it simple. Play the base stuff and let your talent fly.
Well, I'll give you another one. So 2013, we had the worst defense. We were like a terrible defense. That was with Coach Fick and Everett Withers was the DC.
Yeah, I remember.
And we were so confused at times out there because we had just a call like, for example, it was called colors. And you had to look at the formation, and everybody had to know exactly what color to play off of that. So it's like 5 calls in the one call. But the formation dictated. If y'all didn't see the thing the same way, you got different guys playing different things. Mm-hmm. So what happened is Withers moves on. They get Chris Ash in here. Chris Ash comes in here, and we play. I kid you not, we play over 4 our base defense to everything. It was like 80% of the time that's what we was playing, cover 4. The entire time, it played to everything. It was so simple, and it allowed everybody to play fast. What happens? We go on to win a national championship.
Playing fast is what you want this defense to be. No thinking,
play fast.
Play fast. And I think that's something that Ryan he's talked about that a lot. It's marrying itself. It won't be tested again in a big-time fashion until probably you play Oregon. If you get there, if you get through the Indiana game and you get there and you play Oregon, then it'll be put to the test. That one will come down to, and something you and I were talking about in the break, that will come down to trench play.
Yes.
That's it. It's that simple. You've got to get home sometimes, and you got to make it hard. And you can't make guys cover forever when you're playing simple. You can't. So you have to create some pressure. So that will be the job. They're not going to get tested this week.
No.
They're not going to get tested at Northwestern.
No.
So they'll get a little test against Indiana, a decent test. Michigan offensively is probably as gross as I've ever seen a defending national champion be offensively.
But it's a rivalry game. So
no. I'm not saying it. Look, dude, I take nothing for granted.
Yeah.
I was in the shoe when Nebraska, I thought, my God, are they going to win? So take nothing for granted. But if Ohio State fails against Michigan, it won't be because of the defense. Because Michigan cannot execute a forward pass. They can't. People think I'm kidding. Watch them play. They play Indiana this week. They can't operate a forward pass. That's just the reality of it. A little higher, lower coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Question from a listener: do you dopes ever get tired of talking about Ohio State? No. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
Men, if erectile dysfunction is affecting you, getting treated could have a dramatic impact on your relationship and your outlook on life. But it's also important where you get treated, because your health matters. And working with an organization that practices excellent medicine and has significant expertise in men's sexual health can often result in a far better outcome. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're seeking a quality provider to treat your ED or are just not satisfied with your current situation, call us. We'll show you a true 5-star experience and work with you to find the right treatment for your specific medical situation. At Tri-State Men's Health, we truly are experts in men's sexual health, but it's more than that. Unlike the online pill pushers or so-called men's clinics that only offer one or a few treatment options, we offer the full spectrum of ED protocols. We can even use combinative therapies for better results. At Tri-State Men's Health, your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
For a limited time at Speedway, get 2 big pizza slices and your favorite Coca-Cola 20-ounce for only $5 with Speedy Rewards. Choose from Classic 3-Cheese, Pepperoni, or Extreme Meat Pizza. Save big with a $5 meal deal with Speedy Rewards. Only at Speedway. Valid through 1/7/25. See app for full terms.
At Roof Revivers, we save not only your roof, but your money too. Whether you need a quick repair or a full replacement, we've got you covered. While many companies jump straight to replacements, we always start with repairs. Replacements, that's our last resort. We'll provide a clear, detailed explanation of what your roof needs, complete with photos, so you know exactly why. With over 350 5-star reviews on Google, honesty is at the heart of everything we do. Roof Revivers is ready to work for you. Visit roofrevivers.com today. Roof Revivers, we fix leaky roofs.
Now you can ship the delicious flavors of Schmidt sausages to any tailgate around the country. Send a taste of Columbus tradition to your favorite fan base, wherever they may be. Just place your order, and Schmidt's will package up their famous sausages and sides ready for the grill on game day. Go to schmidthaus.com/shop and use coupon code TAILGATE and receive 15% off your purchased order. Why tailgate when you can Schmidtgate?
Post Malone is teaming up with Raising Cane's to empower the next generation of artists. For a limited time, 2 exclusive double-sided Post Malone posters are available at Raising Cane's. So post up your combo at Cane's while supplies last and support a good cause. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived. The only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com, and use promo code JUSTSPORTS to get a welcome bonus up to $100. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio. If you or anyone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
One thing we keep hearing here in town, Wilson, is that the cost of Pella windows actually pleasantly surprises most people.
Pleasantly surprised?
You get the Pella next level quality and looks, but we also have 5 different lines to fit most budgets.
Our customers are almost always surprised, but it's never pleasant. Is there such thing as like angrily surprised?
Price is a little high.
Oh no, they're a lot high.
Get the window that Columbus homeowners rate the leading and most trusted at PellaColumbus.com.
Would you believe that giraffes are 30 times more likely to get hit by lightning than people? Or that a single cloud can weigh 550 tons or more? Sounds fake, right? How about an insurance company that actually treats you right? Sounds unbelievable, but it's true. NJM Insurance is proud to put policyholders first. And they don't use jingles or mascots either. Don't believe me? Well, guess what? Everything in this commercial is true and approved by the legal department. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Visit njm.com for a quote.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. Ohio State was ranked second in the first 12-team college football playoff top 25. The selection committee released the rankings and a projected 12-team bracket on Tuesday. The 7-1 Buckeyes were seeded 5th with a projected first-round playoff matchup with number 12 Boise State. The Broncos are the highest-ranked group of 5 team and the 12 seed. Unbeaten Oregon was ranked number 1 and projected number 1 seed, while Georgia was ranked at number 3 but seeded at number 2. Ohio State's a 38-point favorite Saturday at noon, hosting 1-7 Purdue. Here from OSU's OSU's head coach tomorrow at noon on the Ryan Day Show. And in the NBA, the Cavaliers are off to their best start since 1976. Cleveland looks to improve to 9-0, taking on the Pelicans in New Orleans. Tip-off there is 8 p.m. This update sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Enjoy rates as low as 9.90% APR with a Visa Platinum credit card. Apply online at bmifcu.org/Visa.
If you say something with enough confidence, it must be true. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, second hour here on a First Friday Miracle edition of the program. Still time to get your Hey Guys questions into Reese. We will answer those via the YouTube chat or on the X platform coming up at 11 o'clock. Right now, time for a little higher or lower. The higher or lower. Hit it, Reese.
Bishop and Friends present Higher or Lower.
Sponsored by The Waterworks. The Waterworks, your undefeated team of plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling. Call 614-232-2222 today.
So like you heard me say, or maybe you didn't hear me say there in the update, 25 teams were ranked, 12 teams were seeded. Again, the first college football playoff poll had what they're projecting if the playoffs started today for those 12 teams. But we'll start with the rankings. And if you have any questions, just raise your hand and I'll get to you about the seeding. At number 1, 9-0 Oregon. At number 2, Ohio State. At number 3, Georgia. Number 4, Miami. Number 5, Texas. Higher or lower for any of those teams?
So we're doing it off the ranking. We're not doing it off the bracket. So I would have Texas ahead of Miami. I would have Texas. I think they're a better team than Miami.
What is Miami's quality win?
You ask, and I shall tell.
Winning them all.
That's it. It really is. Honestly, it's not their fault. They've played Florida. They've played Florida and Florida State. Typically, those are more sturdy games. I mean, Notre Dame's going to go into this weekend. They play Florida State in Tallahassee. When that was scheduled, you said, okay, well, that's a big litmus test for them to go down to Tallahassee and beat a team that started the year ranked 10th in the country. But Florida State has crumbled and has fallen apart. So if you're looking for a quality win for Miami, I guess it's at Louisville.
That's a good one.
52-45. That's probably the quality win for the Canes. That's it.
I do believe that I would have Texas above them. I'm going to tell you why. For the simple fact that if they play, I would take Texas over Miami because I think Texas is more of a complete team than Miami. Miami is very offensive heavy and quarterback. Cam Ward has to do a lot for them to win those games, which as a quarterback, that's what you expect. I get that. But I do think if they play Texas will nip a lot of that in the bud, and it'll be a struggle for them.
I'm with you. I would have Texas ahead of them. I think that other than that, they've got the top 5 largely right. I think Miami is I think the 3 undefeated teams outside of Oregon in the top 10 are all very tricky to rank. The best win that any of them has is BYU winning at SMU. That's the best win. Because go look for what's the best Indiana win?
I don't know why the BYU thing just don't sit well with me.
What part of it?
I don't believe in it. They're one of those teams that
I'm going to give you some. You wanted quality wins, all right?
Okay.
So they beat SMU at SMU. They beat Kansas State 38-9. 38-9. Kansas State's ranked 13th in the country.
BYU comes off to me as one of those teams that's going to win their conference and they're going to lose in the second round. They're going to get the bye and they're going to lose that first game after the bye.
Don't you think we all expect that because they're going to play a 5, which will be Texas, Ohio State, or Oregon?
But see that.
So that's the problem.
I guess that's why they had 9.
So in terms of the top, I would have gone Oregon 1. I'm totally cool with Ohio State 2, Georgia 3, Texas 4. I think I would have Miami 5, but I'm willing to hear arguments from Penn State and Tennessee on that as well.
Why? Because they lost to teams that's in the. So the undefeated thing means nothing to you.
I'm not saying it means nothing. I'm just saying all schedules aren't created equal.
That's true. Listen, I wouldn't argue it. Penn State's only lost to the number 2 team. Texas only lost to the number 3 team. So
Penn State's only lost to the number 2 team.
Was the Texas
Tennessee's loss isn't great. They lost at Arkansas.
Yeah.
Nico ran out of bounds. That's a bad loss.
What about Texas? When Texas lost to Georgia, what was the score? Was it a close game?
Well, they were getting bombed at half, and then they rallied and made it relatively close in the second half.
Texas lost 30-15 to Georgia.
Oh, no. Miami's in front of them. Yeah, no. Never. Yeah. No, yep. They got it right.
And I'll wonder to both of you if in the first edition of the college football playoff rankings, they didn't just rank and seed, or I guess seed then rank, like to not be this confusing.
That's what I said, dude. Reese, I was talking about that yesterday. You and I were talking about that yesterday. Like, doing a top 25 is nonsense. They should have just said, here's the bracket, and left it all up to interpretation. Yeah, the Texas-Georgia game, Georgia's up big at half. Texas actually cuts it to 23-15 in the third quarter. It's a one-score game going into the fourth. And then Georgia scores a touchdown to make it 30-15. That's the final score.
No. Texas, I'd argue Penn State should be in front of Texas.
All right, you have a lovely young family. If you had to put your kids' college educations on the line and Texas played Penn State on a neutral field, who would you go with? I think I have my answer. I know you're not betting on Franklin.
No, I am not.
You got those precious girls?
Yeah, no.
You're gonna have them knee deep in student loans, or you're gonna take care of them? They'll take care of them by betting on the horns over the Nittanies. That's what you do.
I'm just saying, loss-wise, they lost by a touchdown. They lost by 2. Like, that's Texas lost by 2. Penn State lost by 1. That's all I'm saying.
So you got Tennessee at 7, Indiana's at 8, BYU's at 9, Notre Dame's 10th, Alabama's 11th, Boise State 12, at 13, SMU. Higher or lower for the ponies there?
You know, the funny thing is you just did the Penn State loss by a score to Ohio State.
Yeah.
How differently do you view that game if Will Howard doesn't fumble in the 5 and you go up 2 scores
then you would
then you say they got buried.
Yes. That's exactly what I would say. Yes.
So that's the thing. Like, that's why I don't trust these people doing this, because if you don't watch these games and you just see scores and get notes, and I'm sure that your outline of this is exactly what's happened. Here's a bunch of notes on what happened. Here's some statistical analysis. Here's some box scores. If you don't watch these games, you don't know what's happening week to week. So the issue I have here is Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame's the trickiest team to rank.
It is.
Because I think they have a great win at Texas A&M.
I think
they have clearly the worst loss. And they didn't do them any favors by what they did at the bottom of this ranking. In the AP, Army is 18th. In this poll, Army is 25th.
Yeah, I saw that. What, isn't Notre Dame 7th in the AP? Wasn't they 7th?
They're 10th. They actually dropped 2 spots despite not playing. They dropped 2 spots last week.
That's crazy.
Notre Dame's schedule the rest of the way. Florida State, Virginia, Army, USC.
So
USC's the only road game. Army's neutral field.
I might be at that. The tailgate show might be at that USC game. It's hard to make a case to put them in front of anybody. I don't know how you can put them in front of BYU, Indy, Tennessee, or Penn State.
All right, so do the Tennessee game for you. Tennessee's best win is a 24-17 win at home against Bama. That's their best win. It's a good win. Very good win.
Yep.
They also beat NC State like a drum when NC State was ranked 51-10. They beat Oklahoma 25-15. Their loss is as bad a loss as there is. They lost to Arkansas. It's a really bad loss. This is the job for these folks. You asked about SMU, Reese. SMU is 8-1. Their only loss is to undefeated BYU. That's it. That's the list. They've beaten everybody else.
Was it a close game? It
was 18-15.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. SMU's schedule, they lost 18-15 at home to BYU. The ranked wins they have, they beat Louisville 34-27. They bombed Pitt 48-25. So they have 2 ranked wins, and their only loss is against BYU at home by 3.
It's them or Bama, because Boise State going to be in no matter what.
So I thought that what the committee would do, I said this yesterday on the show, I thought they would put SMU in ahead of Bama to create controversy and dialogue and help Paul's show today. for people to complain about Bama not being in.
It's just not going to. I just don't think they're going to leave. Unless they lose to LSU this weekend, I just don't see Bama not making it. I just don't.
Well, I think Boise State's getting a lot of benefit of the doubt here at 12th in the country. That surprised me how high they had them ranked. That's the same spot they are in the AP. Their only loss is to Oregon by 3.
Are they are the highest 9?
Oh, yeah, by far.
They are.
Yeah, okay, so that's why they put them in there, because it's like they're going to be 12 no matter what.
Right, but you could rank them 20th and they'd still be 12.
True. Yeah, that's true. But I think they just want to, just kill that. They we not even about to worry about that. We just going to put them at 12 because that's where they're going to be. That's why I think they do it.
The next highest ranked group of 5, or whatever it's called now, is Army.
At 25.
Would they?
Reese, go ahead.
Well, all right. Let me do this. At 14 A&M, 15 LSU, 16 Ole Miss, 17 Iowa State, 18 Pittsburgh, 19 Kansas State, 20 Colorado, 21 Washington State. So you bring up Boise State. The Cougars are kind of independent right now.
They are independent.
Would
Washington State.
Wazoo fit that bill if Boise were to take another loss and Wazoo run the table?
So they talked about this a little bit yesterday. I don't believe Washington State can be the group of 5. So if Washington State, yes, if Washington State gets in, they have to get in almost the way Notre Dame gets in. They're going to have to go 11-1 and be ranked somewhere in the top 10 in the country. That's going to be the requirement. They're not going to get in. They don't get that automatic qualifier. That goes to a group of 5, and they don't consider them a group of 5.
I can't believe we ain't got another Big Ten school. Minnesota deserves to be in there.
Okay.
They can at least be like 25, 24.
They need somebody.
You want to rank Minnesota?
He's going to war for that.
I am.
So many teams you could pick.
It don't sit right with me that we ain't got.
You're not mad about Vanderbilt, but here you go about Minnesota, sir.
I'm telling you, Washington State's going to go 11-1. Their only loss. Now this is the other thing. They got drilled by Boise State, 45-24. That's their only loss. They got Utah State, New Mexico, Oregon State, and Wyoming.
But they're going quality win though?
There isn't. That's just it.
That's why
and that gets to a conversation that I want to have a little bit next. We'll get a little bit into the trade deadline, but I think that's the next part of it. Quality wins versus losses, because there are a gaggle of teams between 10 and 20 that all have losses, some of them multiple, and many of them still play each other. It's going to be a scene, man, over the next couple of weeks. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Thanksgiving can be stressful when you're shopping on a budget. Let Family Dollar help you do more this year with amazing deals on the supplies you need for a great turkey day, from prep to cleanup. See how you could save on Thanksgiving staples like canned soups and veggies, or essentials such as disposable plates and utensils, trash bags, storage supplies, and more. For even greater savings, download the Family Dollar app, clip available offers, and redeem at checkout. Family Dollar, helping you do more.
Meijer knows that Thanksgiving is a time to come together, eat together, and share together. During the week of Thanksgiving, November 24th through the 30th, when you buy Meijer brand foods, our Simply Give program will feed up to 4 million neighbors in need. So when you bring that perfectly fluffed stuffing to the table, the cranberry sauce and green bean casserole, you're actually bringing more good to more neighbors. Let's bring more good to Thanksgiving with Meijer brand and Simply Give. Exclusions apply. See Meijer.com for details.
APCO, windows, siding, and decks. Business First says we're the largest remodeler in town. Our philosophy is simple. We don't rely on sales gimmicks to get our customers. We rely on our reputation.
Absolutely, absolutely. You can
trust APCO.
APCO.com.
Hey guys, it's Anthony Rothman. If you're feeling at a loss for energy or just not upbeat like you used to be, it could be low testosterone. That's right, it affects our moods. Testosterone therapy, or TRT, can help you get back to your best. But guys have different T levels, so don't go for a standard dosage plan. Look for TRT with an optimized personal treatment plan like you'll get with the experts at Low T Center. Do it now. Go to lowtcenter.com and book your appointment online. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Most radio stations suck. Here's why. They don't invest in local programming. We're live and local 14 hours a day. You can rest assured that every stupid thing we say is 100% local. Homegrown dumb since day one. The Fan.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
In honor of Veterans Day, we're celebrating those who have given the ultimate sacrifice by giving back to Tunnel to Towers. Get to Twin Peaks and donate $5 to Tunnel to Towers through November 30th and receive $5 back to spend on yourself at Twin Peaks this December. Valid at participating locations.
Busy schedule? This is Ryan Krieger, and Krieger Ford has you covered. Krieger Ford offers pickup and delivery, or our mobile service van will come right to you. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today only at KriegerFord.com.
Did you and your family lose Ohio Medicaid and need health coverage? Check this out. You may be eligible to enroll in a low-cost health plan at healthcare.gov. With the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov offers quality plans that cover doctor visits, prescriptions, emergency care, and more. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
November is an ideal month to plant trees in Ohio because the soil is still warm, which reduces the transplant stress. Plus, trees require less water in November than in the heat of the summer, allowing roots to grow in the cooler temperatures. When planting trees, keep these tips in mind. Select trees that are zone hardy for where you plan to plant. Avoid planting trees that produce slip hazards like fruits and nuts close to sidewalks. And don't plant large trees near or under utility lines. To learn more about the November tree planting, contact an ISA-certified arborist near you by going to trees4ohio.org. That's trees4ohio.org. Is thinning hair or a receding hairline making you self-conscious? Try Hair Grow from New Nordic. Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start feeling your best with Hair Grow.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today, tracking a few showers, high 71. The sunshine is back on Thursday and Friday. It'll be much cooler with highs in the mid-60s. And then a storm system is going to drive in some heavy rain going into Saturday night and into the day on Sunday. I do think that the Buckeye game should be dry on Saturday. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 weather impact forecasts on 97.1 The Fan.
With friends like these, who needs former college football players? This is Bishop and Friends.
It's your Uncle Bo here, kids. Erectile dysfunction could be an intimacy destroyer. Research shows that men draw apart from their partners when ED affects the sex life. The condition causes stress, anxiety, depression. Even worse, a man's partner can blame themselves when ED becomes a problem. And it's certainly a given that better medical practice generally leads to better outcomes for patients. So if you suffer from erectile dysfunction, you certainly want that good outcome. And that's where my friends at Tri-State Men Health comes in. They practice better medicine. They're the leaders in treating men's sexual health issues here in the Buckeye State. In fact, they have treatments with success rates well over 90% that work where the pills and herbals fail. Your initial visit is $99. Give them a call. Includes that medical consult, licensed medical provider, TNPSA test. If you're medically advised a test dose, if the test dose doesn't work, the office visit is free. So it's a no-lose win-win for you. Give them a call today. Get your sex life back on track. 800-900-9654 or visit tristatemenshealth.com today. 2 locations here in town. Quick exit off 270 in Hilliard near Medical Mile in Westerville as well on that. I think that one thing that I took away from this last night is that 4 SEC teams and 4 Big Ten teams are getting in. I think the only thing that would prevent 4 Big Ten teams from getting in is Indiana losing to somebody else in addition to Ohio State. because there just isn't anything in the back half of this. For example, they don't have an others receiving votes. So I don't even know who's close. If you go to the AP, which they almost mirror, the others receiving votes, there isn't it's Iowa is another receiving vote.
Tyvis wants Minnesota, so.
Yeah.
What? What is
rolling with the ghosts?
What is Iowa's record? Did they lose 2 or 3?
I don't know.
They had that bad loss to Michigan State. I mean, that's.
So I think you're going to get 4 from each. I think Ohio State, Penn State, and Oregon are locks. Indiana just has to only lose to Ohio State, and they'll get in. I think the SEC is going to get 4 too, and I think one of the 4 that gets in is going to have 3 losses because I don't see any scenario how the SEC can navigate with all of their best teams having 2 losses or fewer.
You don't think that if Indiana lost to Ohio State and SMU beat Miami in the ACC, Miami and SMU both don't get in? And with Indiana being out?
I think that's going to be that 11 seed conversation. That plays out that way.
The reason I say that because SMU would be the champ, so they would be in guaranteed.
Yes.
Miami, then you're asking yourself, Miami or Indy, and they both have the same argument. Who is their quality win? It'd be the question.
I don't know if the committee will punish Miami for playing in a conference championship game if Indiana doesn't. Like they're playing an extra game.
So then that means that Miami would be in over Indy.
Maybe.
So
I don't think we know anything for certain, to be perfectly clear. I just think that the representation will be largely made up of Big Ten and SEC, 7 minimum, more than likely 8 from those 2 conferences.
Yeah.
The ACC is the only one that has a chance to get 2.
Yeah, that's the only one. That's the only way I see like us not getting 4 is if Indy lost to Ohio State like bad and SMU or SMU won the ACC. Like to me, they would put them in and that would take Indy out because they would say Indy has no quality wins.
And the same would be true of Miami.
True.
So then it would be, who do we want to share this wealth with,
but
Miami
you also
or Indiana?
say that they made it to the ACC championship. So.
Extra metric point and also brand.
Yeah.
One's a football brand, the other's not.
That's very true.
So the brand will play a big part of that going forward. That's why I think Notre Dame is very, very safely in as long as they keep handling their business. I think the crazy thing is going to be what happens in the SEC. Georgia plays Ole Miss this week, and then they play Tennessee, and then they'll have to play an SEC title game against Texas. That's the way it's setting up right now. Texas still has to play A&M. Bama's got 2 losses. They play LSU this weekend.
Didn't A&M?
They're not going to all get there at 2 losses or less.
Didn't A&M just lost this past weekend? Right?
They did. They got drilled at South Carolina.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they got drilled.
Yeah, they really did.
So I don't know how they're going to do it, but you're going to get 4 SECs in.
Let me see. Georgia, Texas, Tennessee, Bama.
It's probably, LSU Bama winner.
Yeah.
As simple, I think, as it gets.
If they get through, though, Reese.
Who's left on Bama's schedule outside of
Auburn? Obviously, here's LSU's. I think you're probably right, Reese, because LSU goes Alabama at home, then they're at Florida, then Vandy, then Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah.
That's their next 4.
That Oklahoma game could be a bloodbath.
Yeah, that's the next 4 for them. So if they get through it, they're going to go 10-2, and they would get in.
They would make LSU get in and make them play Notre Dame just so they can go up against their old coach.
Now you're thinking.
Or the old coach goes up against his old team.
Now you're making television shows.
They will tune in for that.
Now you're making television shows. Alabama goes at LSU, Mercer, at Oklahoma, and then Auburn. So I think LSU's path, if they can beat Bama, is far easier than Bama's.
Yeah. You say Mercer?
I don't think Oklahoma and Auburn are great. Mercer.
Lord have Mercer.
Mercer. They always do that. They play the cupcake right before their big ones. The SEC always does that. But that's where that is going to get very interesting, is how much patience they have for multiple loss SEC teams. Because you're going to get 4 of them in.
Yeah.
And if upsets happen at the top, like If Georgia were to lose another one, if they were to lose this week to Ole Miss or next week to Tennessee and still go to the SEC title game with 2 losses against Texas, and Texas has 2 I mean, that's the problem.
What happened to Ole Miss?
They had bad losses. They lost to Kentucky, and they lost to LSU on the last play of the game. They never trailed at LSU. And Nussmeier threw a touchdown pass to it was a walk-off.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Those are their 2 losses. You can't have that. You leave that chance for something else happening.
Where did they come in this ranking? Where
Ole Miss?
Yeah.
They're like 15 or something, aren't they, Reese?
Yeah, 16.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, they have that gaggle of SEC teams in there. Like A&M's in there, Ole Miss is in there, LSU is in there. All in like between 13 and 16, right? Or 14 and 16?
14 and 16.
Yeah.
Now, Ole Miss, I think, is hosting Georgia Saturday.
They are. Yep.
Well,
so that's a loser. That's done for Ole Miss loses that. Obviously, they're done. And that's going to be an intriguing game.
If they win that window.
That's the problem.
They back in. Hey, now you done beat the number 3 team.
Not only that, it sends another SEC team to 2 losses, and it gets back to that conversation we've been having for 8 months, which is 9-3 better than 11-1 because we played tougher teams. It's going to be a wild thing to watch it play out, how this all shakes out. Jake Trotter had an eye on it last night. He'll join us coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
An encyclopedic knowledge of sports and other random things you may or may not care about.
I think I found my mentor.
Rockman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron.
Hey, Jerry.
Remember that day I invented the everything bagel?
That was a heck of a day, Jerry. I was right there in line. Get Eco.
I saw the onion bagel and the poppy seed bagel and the sesame bagel, and I thought, imagine if one bagel could give you everything you need.
You changed the world that day, Jerry. Get Eco.
I think Eco is just like that for homeowners in Ohio. Plumbers, electricians, HVAC technicians. One company, one call, everything you need.
Get Eco.
Eco is a complete ecosystem of home services all under one roof.
Ooh, that is a good one.
Big things, small things, projects that require a little of this and that. Eco has the whole ecosystem equally covered.
Get Eco. What if one day someone comes up with a new thing you can put on a bagel?
Well, I've already patented everything, Aaron. Nobody can claim everything plus one.
You're a wise man, Jerry.
I'm making a fortune, Aaron.
Get Eco.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Did you know we have another station? More Buckeyes, more play-by-play, more everything.
Set your second preset to AM 1460 or 97.1 FM HD2 or listen on the Fan app.
Your home for almost too much football. The Fan.
85% of people will experience foot pain in their lifetime. Long-term remedies are scarce. Good Feet Art Supports from the Good Feet Store can help. They are designed to relieve common foot conditions like plantar fasciitis, and they also improve balance and comfort. Learn more at goodfeet.com.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Right now, save big on 6 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Select varieties are just $2.99 each with your card and digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
You want a sub freshly sliced to order? You go to Jersey Mike's. You want the perfect radio idea? You go to me. Like this. I'm a lone ninja warrior. By night, I glide unseen across the rooftops. watching my enemies from the shadows. By day, I go to Jersey Mike's, watching someone freshly slice my sub. My blade is called Shadow. His blade is a Berserba brand meat slicer. Clearly, I have much to learn about this land. Freshly sliced just for you. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
The blood battle is back,
and the Buckeyes are the defending two-time champions.
Donate blood at a Varsity Blood Drive by November 27th to help Ohio State beat Michigan again.
Sign up at varsity.org/blood battle.
Buckeyes bleed scarlet and gray.
Football fans, are you ready to score big this NFL season?
Hey, it's T-Bone to tell you that Bud Light and 97.1 The Fan have teamed up for the ultimate football face-off. Join us each week for football face-off events and your chance to win a trip to Vegas where you'll compete for the grand prize.
A trip for 2 to New Orleans or the Super Bowl.
Take your shot at football glory.
This week, join me on Thursday at Scoreboard Pub and Grill in Delaware from 7 to 9, watching the Bengals on Thursday Night Football. Then Sunday at Bradshaw Sports Bar, the 49ers backer bar from 11 to 1 to give you a shot at going to the Super Bowl.
In honor of Veterans Day, we're celebrating those who have given the ultimate sacrifice by giving back to Tunnel to Towers. Get to Twin Peaks and donate $5 to Tunnel to Towers through November 30th and receive $5 back to spend on yourself at Twin Peaks this December.
Valid at participating locations.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medications. The solution for weight loss. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Let me introduce you to a man with a magnificent salt and pepper beard. A man who's currently roasting lamb on a spit. A man who runs the Rocky River Greek Festival. That man is Jake Trotter.
Oh, baby. We got rankings, buddy. He joins on the Brian Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. He's our great friend, Jake Trotter, senior college football reporter at ESPN. All right. As you're watching last night, what, if anything, made an impression on you?
Yeah, what a night to unveil the debut of the college football 12-team playoff rankings.
Nice timing.
At one point, I was like, wait, the playoff rankings are tonight? I totally forgot.
NFL trade deadline, too? Like, come on.
I know, right? Big night for sports. Yeah, I thought that – I thought the committee was pretty spot on. They have the exact 12 teams that I had in my projection that I filed Saturday night. I think the only difference, I think I had Indiana a tad higher, but I had Alabama in there. I had Notre Dame in there. I had Boise as the 12. So, I think it looks pretty good to me. And now you kind of get a sense, if you're an Ohio State fan, what the path is going to look like. And I think it's really critical, and that's why this Penn State win was so big. And it really is critical to get that 5 seed if you're not going to win your conference and get the first-round bye because, Boise stayed at home. Tough game, but winnable. On the road to BYU, tough game, winnable. Whereas you look at some of these other paths where, you look at Penn State, they're going to beat Notre Dame and then go to Georgia. It's a much different path forward. So it's not just about getting in, it's about where you're seated. And that's going to make a big difference in how far, some of these teams, including the Buckeyes, go. And Ohio State, now you control your destiny to the Big Ten Championship. You have a chance to get that automatic bye. And, if you're in the Oregon spot, and I think if Ohio State won the Big Ten, they would have a pretty good case to be the 1 seed. Now you've got the winner of Indiana, Tennessee at home in the second round. You're in pretty good shape. So all that being said, that was a huge win for the Buckeyes, and it put them in position to have a pretty favorable playoff seeding regardless of how the rest of the season goes, assuming they can win out the rest of the regular season.
First off, Jake, I want to send my condolences to you for for your Penn State.
I knew that was coming.
When you look at these 12 teams that's right now projected to make the CFP, which one of them do you think don't make it out of these 12? Which one you think got the toughest time remaining in that top 12?
I should note, Tyvis, Penn State had the ball first and goal at the 3 twice and couldn't score.
Yeah. That's just your lack of familiarity with James Franklin, bud.
I know.
We know him very well.
No, we tried to tell him he wasn't listening, though.
I know.
Yeah, we know James Franklin very well.
I was wrong. You guys were right. Are you, Tyvis, you talking about like the way the current season is?
Right now, yeah.
In the playoff or to get to the playoff?
Let's say right now, your top 12, which one of those won't make it?
Well, I feel like the 4 Big Ten teams are in pretty good shape, right? Like Indiana can lose to Ohio State, and they're still going to get in my opinion. Penn State, they have a very favorable remaining schedule. As long as Oregon can get out of Wisconsin unscathed next weekend, they're going to be in good shape. Boise State, I think, is going to be the 12 seed, barring something unforeseen. BYU is kind of like the Big 12 is wide open. I would not be stunned if BYU, lost another game here before the end of the regular season or didn't win the Big 12 championship and somebody else was in that 4 spot. And I don't think BYU would have the resume even at 11-1. Or 11 or 12-1 even to necessarily be a lock at that point. So that would be one to watch. So I think you're going to the SEC, and can Alabama hold on? Can Tennessee? They haven't really played that well lately. Can they hold on? Even Georgia. Georgia has not been dominant since Texas won. I mean They got very fortunate to get out of that Florida game with the victory. I think the SEC could have some shuffling the last month here. I was looking at the EPA rankings earlier this week. There's only 2 schools that are top 5 in both offense and defense of EPA. And I was very surprised by both of them. One of them is Indiana, and another team to kind of keep an eye on is Ole Miss. Ole Miss is a team that they've got 2 losses, but I think that their metrics, if they went out, are going to look very strong, and that could be a team that slips in over maybe over a Tennessee or an Alabama. But I think right now they have the right teams, and 2 weeks ago it was really hard to fill out a 12-team playoff. Right now it's not. I think it's obvious who the 12 are.
Yeah, I think what's going to be fascinating, Jake, and talking to the great Jake Trotter, ESPN college football writer, I think what's going to be fascinating is what do they do with the bottom of the SEC if those teams you mentioned, Ole Miss, if all of them have 3 losses. And it's in play. I mean, Georgia plays Ole Miss this week, and then they play Tennessee. So either Tennessee's going to get a second loss. I wouldn't be surprised if Georgia lost one of those games. That's their second loss, their second conference loss. So, and one of them is going to have to play in an SEC title game and going to pick up a loss. You could have an SEC runner-up sitting there at 10-3, and what do you do with them?
And they're LSU still 6-2. Texas A&M is 7-2. They got Texas at the end of the year. Right. I mentioned Ole Miss 7-2. I mean, even it's not likely, but Vanderbilt at 6-3. Like, you can't completely write them off either. And I'll tell you the team. Vandy has they have LSU and Tennessee to close up the year. Let me tell you the team that is really impressive if you watch them in person, or on TV. I don't think they're going to get in, but I just every time I watch them, I'm like that's one of the top 15 teams in the country. South Carolina is good, and they play Clemson at the end of the year. It's probably not going to be enough, but yeah, the SEC, I think, is the conference to watch if you're looking at the 12-team playoff and seeing how it could be different. I think the SEC is where the variable could be.
Let me ask you about Will Howard. Obviously, up until this point, we're still waiting on him to play that clean game. These next 2 weeks is big for him because obviously the opponents aren't that good. What do you want to see from him from a standpoint that'll give you the feeling that, you know what, this guy is a championship quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, I think overall, Tyvis, I've been impressed with Will Howard and the way he's played. He's done what he's needed to do. He's making plays with his feet. It's just, can he eliminate the big mistakes? And in their 2 biggest games, he had the slide at the end of the Oregon game, which was just hard to wrap your head around. It was inexplicable, and it ended the game. And then, he had 2 really bad mistakes in the Penn State game. They were good enough to overcome them, but the pick 6 right off the bat, trying to squeeze a slant route into Jeremiah Smith, and then just not holding on to the ball at the 1-yard line. You know, I don't think it's going to obviously cost them. You know, in Northwestern, probably not against Michigan because the Wolverines just can't throw the ball at all. But Indiana, we'll see. Like that's a big game now. Like Indiana is legit. They have beaten everybody by 14 or more points. I know they haven't played the toughest schedule, but that's a real team. And it'll be interesting to see if he can eliminate those big mistakes in that type of moment. I think that's really the only thing holding him back. I mean, he has played well. And I'll tell you what, Chip Kelly, man, he was in his bag Saturday. Like he was those crossing routes. He was calling to get people open. You know, spectacular offensive play calling game, and you can see the advantage of bringing in a guy like that in a game of that magnitude. He was terrific, and you know, for all the flack that those guys get, Ryan Day, Chip Kelly, they outcoached Penn State in that game. That was noticeable.
The drive, the 4-minute drive, the stop inside the 5 that you alluded to, and then the 4-minute drive where they just said, "Look, we're going to run it. We know we're going to run it, and watch us just burn the clock." Jake, when you and I talked, this is what we thought Ohio State would be.
Yeah,
they did it. That's what we were waiting to see.
And I wrote about it a couple of days ago. You know, it felt like they lost their footing a little bit with the offensive line injuries, but you know, especially the Josh Simmons injury, and the running game went down a level. They got outrushed by Oregon. They couldn't run the ball at all against Nebraska, and you wondered if this is where that was headed. But they righted the ship. I mean, they ran the ball really effectively against a good front. You know, they controlled the line of scrimmage in that game. So I think the move to put Donovan at left tackle has certainly worked out. You know, Simmons is a really good player, talented prospect, but you know, they've got other good players there, and they figured out a way to make it work. And I'm with you, Bo. Like that was the biggest concern, I think, going into the game and coming out of it. That was the most impressive thing about that win. And was it Carson Hinsman at guard was terrific. Like he was really good. So I think they feel real optimistic about this offensive line going forward, despite the injury to, you know, one of their best players.
All right, buddy. Good stuff as always. We'll do it again next week. Thanks for your time.
All right, guys.
That's our great buddy Jake Trotter, senior college football writer at ESPN on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. A little thing or not a thing up next. Bishop and Friends right here on the Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
From the first one born in the USA to the tens of millions that followed, from the American highways to the NASCAR race days, more people have counted on their Camrys than any other car for over 22 years. And now, Camry is even better. It's all hybrid all the time to be more efficient yet powerful, with available all-wheel drive for the capability to go wherever you want to go in style and comfort. For the latest offers, go to Toyota.com and make your own history. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey folks, Austin Ward here, and we all know consistency is key in sports. Think about it. No matter how many points you put up in one game, it's the team that stays consistent that ends up winning a championship. The problem? Consistency is hard. For years, that's how I felt about my weight. I'd start strong, but could never stay the course. Then I found Awaken 180 weight loss, and now consistency isn't just a word, it's my reality. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. After dropping 12 pounds in my first week, I went on to lose 52 pounds total. Lost weight every week. Since then, the scoreboard has read the same every single month. October, 189 pounds. September, 189 pounds. August, 190. Okay, maybe a pound off. July, 189. The weight just stays off, and for free. Awaken 180 clients don't pay a dime in free maintenance for life. It's like free oil changes for the rest of your life. If you're looking for results that last, do what we all did and choose the solution for weight loss. It's online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Tickets for the 2025 Memorial Tournament presented by Workday are now on sale with special offers only through December 5th. Walk the rope line. Witness iconic shots by golf's best. Join the crowd roars. The experience is yours, and it's second to none. Be there May 26th through June 1st. Take advantage of best ticket pricing and waived fees now through December 5th. Visit memorialtickets.com today.
Dick from Dayton says, listen to the Ryan Day Show. Paul Keels and Jim Lachey join Coach every Thursday from noon to 1.
Presented by Roosters, a fun casual joint, and official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
The Fan.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Hey guys, it's D. Miller. If you're not feeling upbeat like you used to be, it could be low testosterone. That's right, it affects our moods. Testosterone therapy, or TRT, can help you get back to your best. But we're not all the same. So don't go for TRT referred to as a standard dosage plan. Look for TRT with an optimized personal treatment plan, like you'll get with the experts at Low T Center. They provide advanced therapy and have over a decade of experience. So go to lowtcenter.com to book your appointment online. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived. The only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com, and use promo code JUSTSPORTS to get a welcome bonus up to $100. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio. If you or anyone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Meijer holiday deals are here. Shop now and find gifts for everyone on your list. Like a Gourmet 7 or 8 quart air fryer, just $59.99. Save $40. Buy one, get one 40% off on Barbie dolls and play sets. Buy one, get one 40% off board or card games. And Falls Creek or Colorful Planet kids sweaters for $12.99. Count on Meijer to help make the holidays extra special. Shop even more great holiday deals like these in-store or in the Meijer app. Exclusions apply.
At Diamond Cellar, we've been crafting love stories for over 77 years. Trust, quality, and always the guaranteed best price. Visit us today to experience the Diamond Cellar difference. Stop into our showroom on Sawmill Road or at Easton Town Center.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Great Lakes Kia. Take the winning drive to Great Lakes Kia. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes Kia.
Visit greatlateskia.com.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. Keep your friends close and your producers closer. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little thing or not a thing on a first Friday. Hit it, fellas.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Apex Plumbing Pros.
On Tuesday, the NBA announced a punishment for Sixers center Joel Embiid for shoving a Philadelphia columnist over the weekend. It's a 3-game suspension. Joe Dumars, executive vice president for the NBA, said in a statement, quote, mutual respect is paramount to the relationship between players and media in the NBA. While we understand Joel was offended by the personal nature of the original version of the reporter's column, interactions must remain professional on both sides and can never turn physical. Sixers are 1-5. Thing or not a thing?
Wouldn't it be a more punitive penalty for Embiid if they actually made him play? Like, yes. He doesn't play.
Well,
so, like, wouldn't it be better to, like, say,
games?
Actually, you have to play 48 minutes the next 3 games.
Wait a minute, though.
You're healthy. Like, you need to play. And because, like, a 3-game suspension for him, that's basically his regular season.
Wait a minute. Is this suspension without pay?
That's a good question.
Because if it's without pay, yeah, that stink. Now, granted, he's got
not much.
Right.
Trust me, he got a lot of. It's still losing money always
without pay. The 3-game suspension.
All right, see that's it. That's what it is, right? We're gonna hurt you a little bit. It's a slap on the wrist, but it's like we got to do something. Because I understand. I think they said it correctly. We understand why he was offended. Like I think they are siding with the fact that he has the right to be upset. But you can't turn it physical like that. So they got to do something about the physical part of it. So that's what that is.
What do you think he makes a year? You have a guess?
MB?
Yeah, guess the stats. What do you think he makes a year?
$15 million.
52. He's made $265 million already in his career. He makes $52 million
hurts,
a
Bo.
year.
Trust me, it still hurts.
You know what he got to sign? You know what he got the day he signed, guaranteed? $192.
I played the wrong sport. I should have just.
I've seen your jump shot. You played the right sport.
Oh, he does pretty well on the Papa shot out here.
Yeah, he's got a nice wrist.
Listen,
just not. He doesn't have a lot of range.
Are y'all insane? I taught Steph Curry what he knows. Y'all, you know John Mobley Jr. You see how he shot game one?
That's our guy.
He came to my training. That's why I trained him.
You got some shots up. Got him right.
Yeah.
Last night, Oklahoma State head coach Mike Gundy offered an apology for his comments Monday during a Zoom press conference. Quote, I apologize to those who my comments during Monday's media call offended. My intent was not to offend any of our fans who have supported us and this program throughout the years, end quote. The 3-6 Cowboys look to end a 6-game slide and get their first Big 12 win this season, visiting TCU Saturday at 4 p.m. Thing or not a thing?
So this, for context, this was, we played this bite. Was it yesterday, Reese? You played it?
Yesterday, yep.
Yeah. And I'm with him for most of it. Like, I'm at Oklahoma State. You guys are lucky that you've had the success and that I've been here this long and we've had the success that we've had. You're not entitled to anything at Oklahoma State. I was with him and then right at the end, he like took personal shots about like Oklahoma State fans who don't have jobs and all of this type of stuff. And that's just stop right before then and I think you're fine. But he took that extra needle at the end, and then that's what makes you have to apologize. I'm going to say not a thing. They'll forgive him. He's an Oklahoma State guy through and through. He's not going anywhere. So I'm going to say not a thing. But I just think it's one of those ones where just stop before you get to the point where you start making it personal.
I agree with you on that one. It's definitely not a thing. I think it's everybody understands how frustrated he is. I mean, 3-6 without a conference win after having so much success, many years of success, is very frustrating. What happened to the running back? Like, wasn't he like the best running back coming into this season?
That's a good question.
Like, he was supposed to be the guy, and he got the DUI, and that's all I know. I know he was
like one of the kids. He was like a 98 or 97 on the college football video game. I remember that. I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, so it looks like he. Okay, so yeah, he's playing for them, but I don't think he's had a very good year.
They're
they have
0-6.
Not a good year.
They're 0-6 in their league.
He was supposed to be like a first round pick. Like,
he was a Heisman contender last season.
Yeah, Ollie Gordon. That's his name.
Yeah, 4 yards a carry.
That ain't
593 yards.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, he doing bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if they can't throw it, though, I'm just looking at their quarterbacks.
Yeah, load them up.
That's the problem. So Alan Bowman's their quarterback. He's completing 60% of his passes, 11 picks on the year.
Okay, well, that makes sense. I just was wondering, like, I ain't heard nothing about the kid.
John Lewis of Sports Media Watch reported NFL's Thursday Night Football viewership has reached the highest level through Week 9 since 2019 when it was on Fox and the NFL Network. Amazon's TNF average is an audience of 13 million viewers. That's up 4% year over year. This has been a trend since Amazon got the rights in 2022. According to Sports Media Watch, the median age of a TNF viewer this season is 48 as compared to 55 for other NFL broadcasts. Thing or not a thing?
I think this was an inevitable thing. Look, we're all going to push back on all of these apps because nobody wants to shuffle from app to app to app. It's a pain in the neck. Nobody wants that. But the reality is we are forced into this, and then behaviorally now we're used to it. Yeah. So in the beginning, Thursday night, you're like, wait a second, Amazon. But then you go, well, good Lord, I got Prime. Who in this country doesn't have Prime? I think the whole damn country's got Prime. So you get it for free. So you just pop it on and you become more accustomed to it. I still don't love it in terms of having to go into that portal and not being able to bounce around in commercials. Yeah. I think it's crazy when you pay for a product and then they throw commercials in there. That seems awful to me that they do that.
Well, they got us to have sales, marketing.
Yeah. Well, they are making money because they charge me $150 a year to have Amazon Prime, so they're doing just fine. But I think the one thing to watch is this will continue to grow because we become more and more accustomed. They're going to have a big number Thursday. They got their best game maybe they've ever had. Baltimore, Cincinnati on Thursday.
Isn't it? Are they not getting? Who's getting the holiday games? They got a Black Friday.
Those are on Netflix.
Netflix is getting Christmas,
but they got a Black Friday, right?
I think they do. Yeah, I think so.
So that'll be, I don't know who it is, but that'll be, I think I tuned in last year. I think it was like the Dolphins or somebody last year that they had. So
I always like the college football on Black Friday. I like LSU, Arkansas, or Iowa,
the
Nebraska.
NFL is coming for all of that.
They're coming for all of it.
So Thanksgiving, you're going to have CBS, Fox, and NBC, and then the Black Friday game will be on Prime. That's Raiders and Chiefs.
I don't need to see that.
Yeah, they blew that. They don't need to see college football going to win that day.
Yeah. Get a little victory for the college football side.
Yeah, they blew that.
All right, final hour on a First Friday up next. Up next immediately. Hey, guys, still time to get your questions in. Winner here gets a $50 gift card to our great friends at High Bank. That free distillery tour as well. It's coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead. Our condolences. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Hey, it's Anthony. If you want to make the best deal in town on a new Honda, make sure you visit my friends at your main Honda of Dublin. They're on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. And Rich tells me you're going to get 1.90% APR up to 60 months on most new 24s and 25 Hondas. They'll give you the details. Of course, you'll get same-day service, no appointment needed. And how about an extra $1,000 for your trade if you have a 2014 or newer vehicle? All with the great people at your main Honda of Dublin.
At Roof Revivers, we save not only your roof, but your money too. Whether you need a quick repair or a full replacement, we've got you covered. While many companies jump straight to replacements, we always start with repairs. Replacements, that's our last resort. We'll provide a clear, detailed explanation of what your roof needs, complete with photos, so you know exactly why. With over 350 five-star reviews on Google, honesty is at the heart of everything we do. Roof Revivers is ready to work for you. Visit roofrevivers.com today. Roof Revivers, we fix leaky roofs.
Giant Eagle is making it easy to surround yourself with savings with new low prices on hundreds of your favorite produce items like pineapples, avocados, navel oranges, and lettuce at your neighborhood Giant Eagle.
The blood battle is back.
And the Buckeyes are the defending two-time champions.
Donate blood at a Varsity Blood Drive by November 27th to help Ohio State beat Michigan again.
Sign up at varsity.org/blood battle.
Buckeyes bleed scarlet and gray.
Fall is here and so are cooler temps. And are you craving some slow roasted turkey and dressing yet? Me? It's Bobby Carpenter. I love Thanksgiving. I just don't love it at Thanksgiving time. I love it all year long. And so the more I can get it, the better it is. And so at Bob Evans, you don't have to wait to Thanksgiving to be able to enjoy their delicious turkey that's been slow roasted for 6 hours. Their turkey and dressing dinner plate is available any day for just $8.99. Or you can even try the turkey and dressing family meal to go at bobevans.com.
So are you that person, the one who's been buying over-the-counter insoles just to make whatever shoes you wear cushy? Yep, that was me. Hey, it's Anthony. And before I went to the Good Feet store, my back would kill me if I was on my feet for any serious amount of time. I was told about the Good Feet store's 3-step arch support system. Once I tried them in my shoes, I instantly felt more supported, and honestly, my feet felt aligned perfectly for the first time in forever. And they're fit to me personally. And it's not just comfort. My Good Feet store arch supports are designed to balance and strengthen my feet. They've made such a difference in my life. The Good Feet store has helped many people relieve their pain, obviously me included. No waiting required. Good Feet arch supports are immediately available. Bring in your favorite shoes to the Good Feet store, and they'll personally fit you to ensure your comfort. Go ahead. Take a free test walk today. Good Feet products are proudly made in the USA. They're on Polaris Parkway and on Stringtown Road in Grove City or goodfeet.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. Number 2, Ohio State's a 38-point favorite Saturday hosting Purdue. It'll be a big noon kick at the shoe. Buckeyes were ranked number 2, but seeded 5th in the first set of college football playoff rankings released on Tuesday. If the playoffs started today, Ohio State would host number 12 Boise State in a first-round playoff game. The final bracket will be released on Sunday, December 8th. That's one day after the Big Ten Championship. There's some action on the field tonight. The Ohio Bobcats are at Kent State at 7 p.m. Same time in Kalamazoo, Western Michigan hosts Northern Illinois. In the NBA, the New Orleans Pelicans host the Cleveland Cavaliers at 8 o'clock. Cavs are 8-0, their best start since the 70s. And in the NHL, the Blue Jackets lost to the Sharks 2-1 last night in overtime in San Jose. CBJ are in Los Angeles Saturday against the Kings. This update sponsored by The Waterworks. Trust the pros at The Waterworks for all your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Visit thewaterworks.com to get started today.
taking the art of sports radio and day drinking to a whole new level. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, final hour here on a First Friday Miracle edition of the program. Time for a little Hey Guys. Hit it, Reese.
Nothing is off limits. Your participation is required. Just use the hashtag HeyGuys and ask anything you want. Do it now.
Sponsored by High Bank Distillery, home of the best blended whiskey in America. Grab a bottle or dine in at their 3 restaurant locations, Grandview, Gahanna, and now in Westerville. Drink local. Drink High Bank.
All right, the best one here gets that $50 gift card to our great friends at High Bank, the free distillery tour and the tasting for up to 10. Home of the best blended whiskey in America, 3 years running. It is right here in town, and our big gala is coming up. It is November 12th. It's next Tuesday. Thrilled to invite you to the release. Proceeds benefit Brady's Third and Goal Foundation, making a difference in the lives of veterans. For tickets and more information, head to 971thefan.com. Must be 21 or older. Please drink responsibly. And next week at this time, we will be doing this show from High Bank in Grandview. So you have that to look forward to, which is very, very nice. Go ahead, Reese.
We'll start off in the YouTube chat. Tug Speedman asks,
great name.
Hey, guys, I'm torn between a gray Ohio State jersey I want to buy, number 2 Smith or number 2 Downs. If you can't come to a unanimous decision, I will just buy a 23 Powell. Go Bucks.
Well, that's the one. So this is my view on, and I do this with my boys when they want uniforms. I don't let them buy upperclassmen. So, because I need at least 2 years out of it. I prefer them, like my oldest has an Eddie with the thick gray sleeves, and I'm like, that's perfect. You can wear that always.
Yeah.
That thing's a home run. But I said I'm like, all right, so you can get, he said a 2 Smith. I think he meant a 4 Smith.
4, yeah.
So would you want
I misread that, sorry.
Okay, a 4 Jeremiah Smith or a 2 Caleb Downs?
See, the two Caleb Downs thing can get tricky because it's been when you think of 2, first of all, some of the best DBs that's played here is War 2. You got Mike Doss, you got Malcolm Jenkins, Marshawn Lattimore. It's a lot of people. So that 2, it's a lot of gold. 4 on the other hand, at wide receiver, is he competing with Santonio Holmes?
Ted again.
No, Teddy was 7.
Ted was 7.
Was Santonio
Santonio was 4?
Was he?
Roy Hall was 4 until, or not Roy Hall.
He was 8.
Ray Small was 4 until they took it from him.
Yeah,
Tress took it from him.
I think you'll be more safe with the Jeremiah Smith because that kid is probably gonna go down as the best receiver ever, and he's gonna break Chris Carter's record. So it's there's a lot of stuff that comes with it. Like,
here's the other thing with that, like, unless you watch the All 22, as you and I talked about on Monday, you don't
know about Caleb.
See all what Caleb does.
Yeah.
So I think 4 is just the easier, and you're going to get it you get it this year and the next 2 years.
Now you get that 23 now. That's legendary because I'm still waiting on somebody to come take the 23 and take it to new heights.
How did you get it?
They gave it to me.
Is that what you wanted?
No, actually, I didn't have a specific number. I always wanted to switch to number 1. Like my thing was when I got to college, I wanted to be number 1.
Sure.
When I got here, Bradley Roby had number 1.
Yeah.
And the problem is I ended up making the team up north play with the 23, and I said, well, everybody knows me as that, so I'm not going to switch it now.
Who got 1 after Brad?
Eric Smith had it for 1 season. I could have got it. I feel like I could have got it my last year because he ended up switching to 34, but
because Brax had it his.
Yeah, 15, but you can have an offense and defense.
Offense and defense, yeah. And I always thought I wished he just would have stayed 5 the whole
I wish he would have stayed 5 too, but he wanted to start a new leaf because he wasn't at quarterback anymore.
I also think it helped that at those days they were selling the number 1 in the year.
Yeah.
So you could have a lot of number 1s going around.
But then they started selling the 23. Didn't I tell you this? They started
because of Braun, right?
When I walked in the bookstore and I seen that 23 bow, I about shed a tear. I said, "Oh my God, I done made it! I done made it, y'all! Oh man!" And then I flipped it around and seen James. My soul crushed. I was like, "Hey, I can't believe this!"
If they still have some of those out there, you should buy them up, and you could just do this switch and sew Powell on the back of them for your children.
I wonder if they are still selling him.
I told D Mills, Uno Cinco. I had told him to do that because the year they sold 1 in 15, I'm like, dude, buy up all the 15s that are for Zeke, and now your kids can wear your number.
Yeah, that's true.
NH89 chimes into the YouTube chat. Hashtag, hey guys, I'm 35. Can a grown man still wear an NFL/OSU jersey?
This is you really toeing the line. You toeing the line. I would say as a fan, you can do whatever you want to do. If you pay for it, you can do whatever you want to do. Are you talking about just to the game, right? Like you talking about are you just
not to like
leisurely walking around?
Didn't specify.
Not to go get an Orange Julius at the mall, I don't think. I think probably I'm guessing. This is where I am on this. And this is as I've gotten older, I've softened on a lot of things. For example, I used to have a very hard and fast rule about Christmas decorations and Christmas music. I don't anymore. My wife likes it. It makes her happy. Decorate all you want. Listen to all the Christmas music you want. Fine. Live. I used to have a very strong grown man wearing jerseys. And my rule was this. You can't wear a jersey of someone who's younger than you. So if you were going to wear a Buckeye uniform, let's say, and you're 35, wear Eddie or Archie or something like that. If you're wearing wear Jim Brown. Wear Otto Graham if you want a Browns jersey.
This is interesting you say this. Because
I think it's weird. And but I don't mean to I don't want to cast aspersions on people who do it. Live. Whatever makes you happy. God bless. I don't it's something, a hang up for me of wearing a jersey of someone who's younger than me. And I haven't worn a jersey in forever. And that's very much a Midwestern thing too. Midwest people wear jerseys to games. In the South and out West, they don't. They don't wear jerseys. So it's a very Midwest thing to wear the jersey.
All right, just do the thing where you put your own name on your jersey. Do your own.
I don't think you can do that unless you played.
People do it all the time, Bo.
I know. I don't think you should do it.
Oh, you said.
I think you're a grown man. Can you imagine me? Like I'm a man, I'm 40, and I roll up to the shoe
B. Bishop
with a 10 B. Bishop on the back.
I'd say it's fire.
I'll tell you a cool one you can get for Buckeyes. You can go Johnny Utah. Johnny Utah is great. Shane Falco is great. Both of those are good ones too.
Oh yeah, Shane Falco.
Troy tweets in at 971BFS, hashtag, hey guys, would you rather have Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward starting at quarterback next year for the Browns, or sign a cheap Justin Fields and draft Will Campbell or Kelvin Banks and start rebuilding the offensive line?
Can I take option C? I would take option C. I don't think Shedeur is not going to play for the Browns.
No, I don't think Deion's not going to let him.
No. Cam Ward is not a fit. I think Kevin Stefanski is going to be back and they're going to run his offense. I think too. Cam Ward is not a fit for that.
It's like a Deshaun Watson. He holds the ball.
Right. So, and neither is Justin. Justin isn't a fit for that offense either. So I think the more likely scenario would be a bridge quarterback in the form of Sam Darnold, Derek Carr, someone in that ilk. Who would be, now Sam might cost you a little bit because he's only 27 and having a good year. But I think somebody like that as a bridge quarterback while you sit this draft out at quarterback and maybe get one in the next one.
I don't disagree with that at all because I told you everybody's saying that these prospects are turning out to be weaker. I would say if you did take a quarterback, I'd take the one with the strong arm, whoever that is, and I'd take one in the second or third round if I'm pressed to take one. I would not take one with my first pick. If I'm going to end up with a top 10 pick, I would not take that because I just don't think those fit. Like, they don't fit what Kevin likes to do. And I think Kevin is a simple guy. Like, I think he tricks himself into thinking I need a quarterback that's mobile and can do all these things.
He doesn't.
But he's been the most successful with the quarterbacks that got big, strong arms that can just sit in pocket and make a throw. Like, your offensive line is built that way. Your offense is built that way. Like, so stop trying to get a guy that's not going to fit. So, I would go with offensive line or wide receiver because I still think they need that guy that can be dynamic in the wide receiver. And if you get a top 10 pick, D-end is a nice one, too. There's plenty of them in this draft.
Yeah,
plenty of them in this draft.
I don't think they'll force anything. I think that they will try to flip. They still have a very talented roster. They just need to kind of rebuild this kind of on the fly. And I think there's plenty of time to be able to do so.
Dustin asks in the YouTube chat, hashtag, hey guys, settle an argument for my brother and I. He thinks if you take Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and Travis Kelce and put them on a team like Akron, they could make it to the CFP. What say you?
Patty? Wait, right now, today, Patty?
Right now, today.
Patty, Reed, and Kelsey. Can I substitute Tyreek Hill for Kelsey?
No.
Because you got a good argument there. Patty, Travis.
Could Patrick? All right. How good is Akron? Where are they in the MAC?
I want to say bad. Like
really?
2 wins bad.
Could they get to the CFP? Is what you asking?
Correct.
So they need to be the highest ranked MAC team.
Akron's 1-4, 2-7 overall.
I would say the quarterback part is a big part. With Andy Reid as a play caller, he get the best out of all of them. At some point, the trench play is going to come into effect, and they don't have that, and they're going to lose.
They would just have to win. They'd have to be better than Boise State.
Correct.
So I don't think so either.
I don't think that's going to be the case because, as we know, all of the bells and whistles is fine. When you get to when you talk about championships and all of those things, trench play is the most important part.
How much would an NFL pro? I mean, just think about that for a second.
He costs $10 million.
Like if Patrick Mahomes played for Michigan.
Oh, they'd be. I don't even. The thing about them is, I don't even know if their receivers are good.
Well, whoever, don't even use them. Then just pick another one. Put him at Texas A&M. Put him at Texas Tech, where he played. If him right now at Texas Tech, they're winning the Big 12. Because Texas Tech's okay anyway.
Yeah.
And you paratroop him into that?
Yeah.
They're winning the Big 12, and they might win it with him. There's no quarterback in the stratosphere of that dude playing college football.
That's true.
None.
Was he that good at Texas Tech like that?
Dude, he threw for 700 yards in a game. You know what the problem with him was? This was funny. The problem with him coming out, buddy. And I talked to Greg Cosell about this at length at the Combine a few years ago because he said, I don't know how to evaluate him. He's either the greatest quarterback I've ever seen or he won't last a year. And the reason he was such a hard evaluation is because of how off he played then a lot the way Caleb Williams played last year at USC and the way that Shedeur plays at Colorado. Completely out of structure.
Yeah.
Dropping 16 yards behind the line of scrimmage to throw the ball. All of those things he did regularly, and the NFL had no idea if he could do it or not. And the team that took him was Kansas City, and they took him with the idea that, he redshirted.
Yeah, he did.
He sat behind Alex Smith for a year and figured out how to play pro football. So that's how that happened. It wasn't like everybody was like, oh, Mahomes is savior. That wasn't it.
He was doing a lot of stuff that he broke a lot of rules as a quarterback that you shouldn't do, but he had the arm strength to make the play. And they was like, it's like Steph Curry shooting threes. It's like, hey,
yes,
go with
that's
it.
The good
Just
analogy.
go with it.
Real quick before we pick a winner, I got one from Rob on Twitter. Hey, guys, although I've attended many formal outings in my day, I'm a man, I'm 40. Next week will be my first gala.
Oh, yeah.
For those of us that don't know, what's the proper dress code for such an event?
It's really important. It's a great question. From what I understand, it is business casual is what we're going for, is what the gala or gala is going for. And look forward to seeing you there, Rob. All right, we got to pick a winner. Was it Tug who had the uniform question?
Yes, about the 4 Smith or the 2 Downs.
Or the 23 Tyvis.
Or the 23 Powell, correct.
I think 4 Smith was our answer, is how we went on that. You get it. You get the good job, Tug. You get the $50 gift card to High Bank, the free distillery tour. You're going to enjoy that. It's the home of the best blended whiskey in America. 3 years running. It's right here in town. Stop by High Bank's 3 locations, Grandview, Gahanna, Westerville. Enjoy their award-winning spirits for your next happy hour and make your reservation at highbankco.com. Drink local, drink High Bank. In addition to the gala, we will be broadcasting live from there 1 week from today on a First Friday. We'll go around the AFC North. Andrew Berry with a wild press conference up in Cleveland this morning. We'll get to that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
This promo is brought to you by Common Man and Timmy Hall's Ping Pong Game. The Fan.
Meijer holiday deals are here. Shop now and find gifts for everyone on your list. Like a Gourmet 7 or 8 quart air fryer, just $59.99. Save $40. Buy one, get one 40% off on Barbie dolls and play sets. Buy one, get one 40% off board or card games. And Falls Creek or Colorful Planet Kids sweaters for $12.99. Count on Meijer to help make the holidays extra special. Shop even more great holiday deals like these in-store or in the Meijer app. Exclusions apply.
The time to save big is now. It's Ford Truck Month at your local Ford dealer, and the time to buy is now. Make way for great offers across an amazing lineup of Ford trucks, featuring the built Ford Tough F-150 and Super Duty. Check out the versatile Ford Maverick and the capable Ford Ranger. But you can't wait. These limited truck month deals won't last. Check it all out at buyfordnow.com. Then get over to your local Ford dealer today. Hurry in, as these deals won't last long.
If you're struggling with ED or your performance is down and your belly fat is growing, listen up. You've got one life. Now is the time to act.
At the Columbus Men's Clinic, we're not just healthcare, we're your secret weapon. Don't wait another day. Here's why you need to act right now.
Every moment you delay, your condition could worsen. It's not just about sex, it's about your heart, your relationship, your life.
The Columbus Men's Clinic has over 10 years of proven results for low testosterone and increasing drive, energy level, and performance. We've introduced ED and enhancement treatments so exclusive, you'll wonder why you waited.
Procrastination is the thief of time. When it comes to your sexual health, you can't afford to wait. Join the League of Gentlemen who've walked out of our doors with a swagger.
Call the Columbus Men's Clinic at 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. Book your $99 male performance consultation now, including blood work. Call 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. The Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
Here at The Fan, we give you 14 hours of live and local programming every day. We care about you. We live and work in your community. Except Bo Bishop. He won't tell us where the hell he is. Your live and local station. Except Bo. The Fan.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Active military or veteran planning your next career move? Start at Columbus State Community College. Columbus State equips you with the skills to launch a high-tech career in Columbus's fastest-growing fields, including cybersecurity, software development, and more. That's why employers fueling Central Ohio's tech boom hire our graduates. Plus, our veteran services team will help you maximize your benefits and connect to a supportive campus community. Take the first step. Apply at cscc.edu/IT.
Healthcare.gov has plans for health because you have plans for life. All plans cover doctor visits and emergency care to keep you and your family running strong. All plans cover hospital stays and prescriptions so you can have peace of mind. Visit healthcare.gov to explore health plans from the brands you know. 4 out of 5 customers can find a health plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Enroll at healthcare.gov by December 15th for coverage starting January 1st. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hey, folks, it's game day, and the betting's going to be intense, Drew.
You said it, Dave, but a good pregame routine keeps betting responsible.
That's right. You got to pause before you play.
Good call. Sports betting is hot, but it can be risky.
And pausing to set limits is an all-star move.
That's right, Dave. If you bet on sports, pause before you play to set limits, recognize the risks, and know when to stop.
Learn more at pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today, cloudy with a few showers, high 71. Sunshine is back Thursday and Friday. Temperatures will be dropping down to the mid-60s. Saturday looks dry. Sunday, not so much. Tracking some heavy rain for the later half of the weekend. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 weather impact forecasts on 97.1 The Fan.
They'll offer betting advice, but don't bet on it being good. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
NFL trade deadline came and went yesterday. The Browns with the trade of Zadarius Smith, which we talked about early in the day in yesterday's program. The Cincinnati Bengals bolstered their run game. Khalil Herbert comes over from Chicago to give Chase Brown a little bit of help there with Zach Moss hitting the IR on that side of things. Were you surprised Cleveland didn't do anything else, and conversely surprised Cincinnati didn't try to do anything else?
I was not surprised with the Browns at all. I mean, Darius was the only thing. I think the only guy that probably even got buzz was Njoku. They said they wasn't going to trade him. I think that they always are looking to test the waters, and they just knew it wasn't worth it. And like I said, they're not playing well, so they was going to get low ball for a lot of guys anyway, so I didn't think that they was going to make a move. As far as the Cincinnati goes, I mean, I don't know what I wish they would have did something defensively. They need a defensive, but they're not going to pay nobody. They're not, so why take on contracts and stuff like that? So I think they just put them in a situation where I felt like I was shocked that they even made a trade for Herbert, because they really don't do anything at the trade deadline ever.
I think I saw yesterday they've made 3 trades in 52 years.
That's what I'm saying. They never do anything.
Yeah.
But the Herbert thing, I liked it. Now, Baltimore, that Trey White trade.
Now, hasn't played well in a minute.
He hasn't ever since he had that injury with Buffalo. But I watched him live when I was playing for Denver, and this is when we had Cortland Sutton was there. And Cortland Sutton was like on a tear. And I was on P Squad, so I watched this game, and I was like, let me see Trey White. We went to Buffalo. That man shut Cortland Sutton down the entire game. I was like, this it's amazing what he was doing.
Well, he was first team All-Pro.
Yeah, I know he was. Yeah. Now, ever since the injury, he has not been quite that same guy, but you're asking him, you're coming into Baltimore, you're asking him to be the number 2, not the guy. He's going to be the second guy because Marlon Humphrey, she should be coming back if he's not back.
Yeah, he should be back, yeah.
So he's not going up against the best guy. He's going up against the second best guy, and I like his chances there.
Pittsburgh made a nice move from their perspective. Mike Williams comes over for the Jets for a 5th rounder. I like that trade a lot for Pittsburgh. They also acquired defensive tackle Preston Smith for the Packers. So
I like that one too.
I like that too. So Pittsburgh saying we're in, we're going, and buckle up. We think we got something here. I think Mike is so professional, and what he will do to opposite Pickens for them is going to be big.
I mean, they essentially both. If Mike can get back to he tore his ACL, right? Pre-ACL where he was dunking on people, if he get back to that, you got 2 guys on the outside that both have that spectacular catch trait in them. So for Russell Wilson, first of all, I think Pittsburgh is the best situation for him because it mirrors the Seahawks. They run the ball, and then they ask you to throw a couple of passes, nothing too crazy. But with the receivers that they got with Pickens and now Mike Williams, their catch radius is even better. So now you just throw them a 50-50 ball, and they are so athletic that they'll jump over guys and make these plays. So it definitely helps there. The Preston Smith thing, now, he hasn't been lighting it up like he was when it was him, and I think they had him and Zadarius. I think when they both was the 2 ends. He hasn't been that guy, but he still got some effectiveness in him. And
let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
If you're Preston Smith and all of a sudden you're lining up next to Cam Hayward and TJ Watt, does that make right?
Is he playing D tackle or is he playing end?
Well, it's 3-4, so he's playing 3-4 end.
That's what he was playing with the Packers. I think but I do think the reason why he hasn't been effective with the Packers is because I'm sure Hafley's running 4-3. Because when I was with and they got Robert Saleh over there again, so they're going back to what we ran back in San Fran. So so he's a stand-up guy anyway. So he's back in his system where he was most effective. So yes, he's 100% going to be great again.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty solid. One other thing that didn't happen yesterday, Diana Rossini with The Athletic, the Panthers received multiple phone calls about Bryce Young. They did not move Bryce Young. That would have been nuts to move him.
That's too early.
He actually played okay last time out.
It's too early.
Let him live.
You gotta
let him play.
I think that
he was okay.
I agree with you. I think everybody just was out on him, and I don't understand why. Now, don't get me wrong, I do, because he was a young guy. He was making mistakes. I get that, but he also don't have the talent around him either. Like we're not going to sit here and act like you can just truly assess this man with his talent of wide receivers. I know Andy Dalton came in there and he had the one great game, but that was it. Like it was one time. So Yeah, I wouldn't give up on them. It's a huge rebuild that they got going on. They just got to hit. They got to hit on some wide receiver, some explosive wide receiver, like a Jamar Chase type of guy. If they get one of those, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, and then maybe there will be one of those in this draft. That could happen. Andrew Berry was available today up in Cleveland. He had a press conference with the assembled media there, kind of a state of the state. They always do this on the bye week. Not much came of it. I mean, to be quite honest, it was they asked questions.
They do a great job of that.
They do, of not really giving you much with the questions that are answered. Asked direct questions about Deshaun Watson or regrets of not signing. I mean, they asked him, do you regret not bringing back Flacco? And AB said, I really like our quarterback room. You really? I mean, so that's the thing that's always the thing that's a little bit tricky is just, I think what you have to do with that operation is you have to think of the actions versus the words. And the actions yesterday were to only trade Zadarius Smith. So what that tells me is that the Cleveland Browns believe in their young core. They want to add to it this offseason and pivot from – I mean, they're going to have to pivot away from Watson, obviously. He's not – even if he ever comes back and play again, it's not going to be till next November. Yeah. So they can't go into next season as him the starting quarterback. That's obviously not the case. So they need to find a starting quarterback. It might be DTR. If they give him some run here in the last half of the season, which my guess is they will.
They probably will.
They should. I mean, this is nothing against Jameis. I just don't need to see Jameis Winston play quarterback anymore. He's not any part of the future plans.
Well, I said that like 2 weeks ago. I said that before the Baltimore game, but I knew why he was starting the Baltimore game because DTR has suffered that injury, and he was just serving as a backup. With the DTR thing, I still think it's something there. My question is he better serve running the shotgun stuff, or is he better serve doing the old Kevin Stefanski stuff?
He's not good enough for them to change. His ceiling isn't good enough for them to change what they are. They've got to get back to being what they are. They're a wide zone run team and play action off of it. That's what Kevin is. They need to be the way that the 49ers are, the way the Packers are. Like, you come in and run this system. We don't build systems around quarterbacks. Like, that experiment is over.
I agree. But they also got – it's not – even if they did try to get back to it, which they're leaning on, especially in the run game, that to me is the biggest problem, is that we can't run the ball anymore. Like, Nick Chubb's averaging 2.7 yards a carry since he's been back.
I told people he's not going to be Nick.
I mean,
it's two catastrophic surgeries, buddy.
They have to do something.
I know, but like
there's no, you can't tell me, you can't come up with any way to be effective in the run game.
Nick Chubb used to prior to the injury.
It don't even have to be Nick. It can be somebody. Throw a jailbreak screen or something.
No, they have, and I'm guessing they do that in the bye week as they get back to who they are. Because it didn't matter who the running back was last year when they had Flacco, because they had a threat over the top with Flacco, and whoever the running back was had success. So, I mean, I think that's what the second half of this year is for them. It's about DTR. It's about seeing who of the young guys can be part of the big plans. I think they'll be like DeJuan Jones is your left tackle now. That's a big deal. He was started last year as right tackle. Yeah. Now he's the left tackle of the future. He's won that job. So they've got Jedrick Wills, who they drafted high a couple of years ago. Do they try him at right tackle, which is what he played in college?
I mean, why not?
Do you play him at right guard? Why not?
Why not?
See if he can do it.
Season's over. You might as well figure out
see if he can do it.
See what's going to happen moving forward. Right now you're in evaluation mode. You're either going to figure out who's a part of the problem, who's a part of the solution. That's all this is about for these few games.
100%. Adam Jardy on the Buckeye basketball team's impressive debut coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
1, 2, 3. The Daily Coach Ryan Day Show is brought to you locally by Credit Union of Ohio and by Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
This is the Ryan Day Show presented by Safe Light Auto Glass. And Coach, you told us on Roundtable last week about putting boxing gloves on Davison Igmanosin and maybe some of the other DBs during practice. How rewarding is it, not just for you and your staff, but for Davison as the player as well, to put in the work and the drills and then make such an incredible play with the pick in the end zone on Saturday?
Yeah, for Davison, he just keeps playing. He just keeps competing. And that's what I really admire about him as a person. He just keeps going, and certainly has some holding calls against him, but, made the adjustment and continues to compete, doesn't let the last play affect the next. And because of that mentality, he made a huge play in that game for us. And, I think he played, much cleaner on the perimeter. I thought, the one call that he had, on the catch, the kid made a great catch. I thought that call could have gone either way. I mean, I thought that was a little bit of a nitpick call. I thought he played much cleaner and had the huge play for us.
We'll have another comment in just a moment.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Coach, you almost tripled your rushing numbers against Penn State than the previous week against Nebraska. Tell us about the effort and work of your running backs and the blocking up front that those groups put in during the week that allowed that to happen.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes with the run game. First off, it's the plan, making sure that schematically we have an advantage. It comes with, understanding personnel-wise how we match up with them, and then how we install it, how we teach it, how we practice it. But at the end of the day, it comes down to a mentality, and that mentality is, we're going to establish the run by being physical, making 3- and 4-yard runs, 5 and 6, pushing the pile, knocking people back, and winning the line of scrimmage, and then wearing them down so that we can do what we did in the fourth quarter. So there's a lot that goes to the run game, and everybody's involved with it. And so we have to continue to build on that. That's going to be a big part of our identity.
This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
What do football and finances have in common? The team you play with makes a big difference. Credit Union of Ohio is your financial team to help you save and spend like a winner. Whether you're looking to make a big purchase or find ways to build up your savings, you'll always work with a team player at Credit Union of Ohio. Navigate your next big money play easily through Credit Union of Ohio's website at cuofohio.org. That's cuofohio.org. NCUA insured, equal housing lender.
For more than 35 years, Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse has been known by Buckeye Nation as serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks have been a staple in Columbus with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. Hyde Park is proud to introduce our newly added wine room at the downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining will surround you. And coupled with live entertainment every weekend, Hyde Park will be the perfect setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
By the time you're finished listening to this Pepsi Zero Sugar, you'll be 15 seconds closer to kickoff. Stock up now. Bengals game day is so close, you can almost taste it. Bengals watching. Better with Pepsi.
Post Malone is teaming up with Raising Cane's to empower the next generation of artists. For a limited time, 2 exclusive double-sided Post Malone posters are available at Raising Cane's. So post up your combo at Cane's while supplies last and support a good cause. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
This fall, Giant Eagle is your one-stop shop. Deals for days means tons of discounts on all your favorite tailgate items, snacks, and everyday essentials you need. Featured items will only be available at these amazing prices for a limited time. Visit Giant Eagle or Market District today.
Replace your heating and cooling system with Logan Services. Get 0% APR financing for 72 months on a qualifying Train system. It's hard to stop a train. Find us online and schedule your free estimate now. Logan Services.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medications. The solution for weight loss. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Sports conversation that's worthy of a toast, or at least a stiff drink. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Hi, Bo Tyvis. Reese here as well on a First Friday. Time to get some perspective for the first time this year from our guy, Adam Jardy. Ohio State men's basketball with the Dispatch on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. This season snuck up on me, buddy. I'm going to be honest with you. I wasn't ready for early November, and away we go. And then it's 10 o'clock. I guess, first of all, fantastic win. How close did what you saw from this Buckeye basketball team resemble what you thought you would see?
Not very. I mean, it was there was a lot about Monday night that was not what I expected. And to be fair, like, I felt like there's so many question marks about this team. Like, there was a real feeling of like, this is a blank slate. I don't know exactly what we're going to see when these guys play. You know, my biggest, well, one of my two biggest questions about this team coming in was, are they actually going to be able to shoot the ball from three? Because that seems like it's a real priority for them. They want a lot of guys shooting threes. They don't have a lot of guys who have shot threes at a really high percentage throughout their career. So I'm thinking, is that going to work this year? That's probably my biggest surprise, because it did in a way that I very clearly did not expect. So that was probably one of my biggest things right away that I was like, yeah, I didn't see that coming.
Adam, you know, one thing that I was looking forward to is I wanted to see Aaron Bradshaw, you know, this big time get in the transfer portal. How do you think he was his first game out? I mean, I know he struggled from the field. He didn't really get a lot of boards. You know, is this something that it was first game jitters, or do you think he gets better moving on? What do you see for him in the future?
So that was the second thing I was most interested in seeing was you have a whole new front court with Aaron Bradshaw and Sean Stewart, and those guys were 5 stars or McDonald's All-Americans coming out of high school, and they didn't really do much at Blue Bloods last season. So what does that front court look like, and what can those guys, you know, do for Ohio State? And you get a combined 4 points and 8 fouls, and it seemed to me like you looked out there on that court and you watched him play, and man, he's so athletic and he's so like smooth, and he's such a big guy. He really struggled in that game. Like Texas kind of took him out of things. Like he didn't look all that comfortable. You know, really at either end of the court. I felt like the foul trouble certainly impacted him. He took 2 early threes. They didn't fall. You know, I don't know. I'm certainly not one game in, like pushing a panic button on anybody or anything, and I don't think anybody should be. But I thought you would see more from both of those guys than what we saw. And to me, that was a little bit concerning, because I don't know that it's realistic to think this team can shoot as well as it did for a full season if they're not getting like consistent post minutes from their center and from, you know, some of their other bigs down low. So that's one of my bigger question marks too coming out of this one.
When was the first time, and I'm sure it would have been Holtman for you because it was Holtman for me, when he first told you about Junie Mobley and his ability to shoot and just you wait? Because, I mean, I think it's been 2 years. I remember Chris telling me, like, wait till you see this kid shoot. Like, he's like Steph. Like, he shoots it like that. He's fearless. He's just fearless.
Yes. Yeah. Boy, it would have been, you know, when he committed, and then it's amazing as soon as he's, or nobody committed, when he got on the radar, when they offered him, and it was like, hey, this guy's like the real deal. Mm-hmm. And then it was very clear. It wasn't just talking like to Holtman, but then, I mean, you name a basketball player or someone connected to basketball in Central Ohio who's been here for at any point in the last 10, 15 years, and they have a Junie Mobley story. Like, you go to the Kingdom Summer League during the summer and you watch him play, and, you know, you talk to Trey Burke, you talk to Scooney Penn, you talk to, you know, whoever you can think of, and they're like, oh, yeah, I've seen Junie doing that for 10 years now. Like, this is anybody who knows basketball in Central Ohio has been saying that this is coming from this kid for years. And boy, it was something to see that. There was one of the people who does graphics for Ohio State was sitting in front of me, and when Junie hit that first three from the logo, on his very first shot a minute into his college career, he just turned around and looked at me and kind of shrugged his shoulders and was like, yeah, we've seen that a million times. Like, that's just, boy, what a fearless shooter, and he's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Adam, let me ask you about the defensive side of the ball. What did you see that you like from the defense? And do you think that this roster has that guy that can man-to-man take somebody out? Because I know Trey Johnson, who is a really fantastic player, by the way. He had 29 points, but he's a tough outing.
Yeah. You know, you had a good freshman debut when they're comparing you favorably to Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Good Lord. I think defensively I was impressed with how hard this team played. You know, they seemed to really get after it. I didn't feel like there were too many times where Texas was necessarily getting a super easy shot. I mean, they certainly weren't perfect, and you can tell that like there was a miscommunication here and there, and you could tell that there were some things where they definitely still need to tighten up. I thought they rebounded defensively really well when they built that early lead that I thought really set them up well. When Texas made a push to close the first half, I think Texas grabbed 13 of the last 15 rebounds of the half. So you could see guys that reminded me a little bit of the Cincinnati exhibition where they just weren't as physical as they needed to be on the glass at times, but I felt like they defended with some purpose and with like some stuff to them. And I thought Micah Parrish, who is another guy that like I didn't quite know what to expect. I mean, he kind of flirted with a triple-double a little bit, and I thought, he's an on-ball defender. He impacted the game in so many ways. Like, he's a guy that I came out of the night really impressed with because I didn't know he had that kind of all-around offensive capability, and I really thought he defended and really keyed a lot of what they were trying to do at that end of the court.
How does a game like this happen? How do you play at 10 o'clock on Turner in Las Vegas? Buddy, if this game was in Columbus or Austin, it's 18,000. It would have atmosphere. I mean, you were there. I'm watching on television. I'm like, are there 5,000 people there? Like, at one time, the hype person's like, that's generous. Okay. At one person, I hear the hype person go, get on your feet, and there's nothing.
No.
How does this happen? How does this type of game get played at that time in that location?
Well, a couple of things. One, there's this I shouldn't say unfortunately, but the reality of NIL. I mean, by playing neutral court games like this, teams are able to make funds for their NIL collectives, and therefore that will help with roster retention and everything. So like you saw there were videos that went around, like they did some USO stuff while they were in Vegas. They met with some kids and did some camps and things like that. Those were appearances that went along hand in hand with NIL, so they could do the charity appearances, and then the collectives could collect the funds for the coffers and all that. So that's a big part of it. To me, yeah, certainly you'd love this to be a home game somewhere, and we all would have preferred that environment over what it was like. But to me, this is also a referendum on like college basketball needs somebody to just sit down and say, why are we starting the season against Monday Night Football? Like,
yes.
Why, you have this game, which is this game would draw pretty much wherever you would play it and whenever you would play it. But you're playing this game at 10 o'clock Eastern, and then Baylor and Gonzaga didn't tip until almost midnight Eastern, and that's a top 10 matchup on the first day of the season. And you're doing this because you're playing against Monday Night Football the night before the election. Like,
right.
College basketball did not need to start on Monday, November 4th this season. They could have started the season tonight. Wouldn't have made a whole lick of difference. No. And you're not going against anything on the sports calendar, and it would have been so much better for everybody. So yeah, I have a lot of if I was the czar, there would be quite a few things that would have been different about how the sport decided to start the season, and that is very high on the top of the list. And we can also talk about this was a doubleheader as part of the Hall of Fame series, and the opening game was number 1 South Carolina against Michigan in women's basketball, which is an awesome game and was a really awesome game. But nobody from that game stayed for the second game except a few Michigan fans who wanted to boo Ohio State.
That's it. Jeez.
So, again, it was
just
empty.
Doesn't make any sense. Real quick, I did want to, last Friday, Darren Peterson, who's the best high school basketball player I've ever seen play in person. You and I have been talking about him for years. I know they were hopeful that they could swing an upset and get over the Adidas connection with Kansas. They didn't. He ends up a Jayhawk. How devastating is it, and where do they go from here in terms of making sure the Ohio talent stays in Ohio?
Yeah, it's a tough one because they really prioritized that and put a lot of effort into it for the last couple of years. And it's a recruiting loss. This was, these were the kinds of things when they hired Jake Diebler, they said not, hey, he's expected to get Darren Peterson necessarily, but he had the relationship. And, these were things Ross Bjork talked about at that first press conference, that these were, important commitments for them. And so it's certainly a loss that they're going to feel. And it's certainly a disappointment because of how much they had worked on trying to land him. And I think they made a really convincing case. I don't think this was like, oh yeah, I think the outside perception is it was Kansas all along. I don't think that's true. And I do think they were there in the running right up until the very end. Just tough in recruiting because you're second, you're last. Where they go from here is a kind of an open question. You know, and it's tough because you do have some guys that they're recruiting who are going to decide in the spring, but by the time you get to the spring, commitment period, you're in the portal. So if I was a high school kid, there's no universe where I would not be signing in the early signing period because nobody is going to be prioritizing you over a kid in the portal, really, once you get to March and later in the year. So, yeah, I don't know where they go right now. I know they like the two guys they have in this class, and, they have some solid guys lined up. Marcus Johnson is a 5-star next year. So they've got some guys on the line, and that's – I'm not worried about, where the recruiting is going at the moment, but certainly, not landing Peterson. That's a blow.
All right, buddy. Good stuff as always. Thanks for your time, Adam.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, that's Adam Jardy with the Dispatch on the Bryan Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline, officially endorsed in 3 things coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We're known for 3 things: games, conversation, and common man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Hey, what's up? It's Bone. Guys, listen up. How many of you out there have been diagnosed with sleep apnea? Maybe your partner can't tolerate your snoring every night, and you can't stand your CPAP machine. The good news is there are alternatives to the CPAP machine, and Dr. Mark Levy is here to change your sleep and your life. Trust me, your significant other will thank you later. Dr. Mark Levy can customize an oral appliance that opens your airways, helps you breathe better, and stops your snoring. It's quick and comfortable and an alternative to those bulky, loud CPAP machines you always hear about. For over 15 years, Dr. Mark Levy has led the way when it comes to treating snoring and sleep apnea, and now he's expanding his practice to better serve his patients with a brand new location in Marysville. Yeah, Marysville. If you're snoring and waking up all of Marysville or wherever you live and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy's office today. And as the end of the year approaches, a lot of people have exceeded medical deductibles, which means less out of pocket for you. Don't delay. Schedule your appointment today with Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. You can also check him out online, sleepbettercolumbus.com, and now sleepbettermarysville.com.
Hey guys, it's Anthony Rothman. If you're feeling at a loss for energy or just not upbeat like you used to be, it could be low testosterone. That's right, it affects our moods. Testosterone therapy, or TRT, can help you get back to your best. But guys have different T levels, so don't go for a standard dosage plan. Look for TRT with an optimized personal treatment plan, like you'll get with the experts at Low T Center. Do it now. Go to lowtcenter.com and book your appointment online. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
It's Thursday Night Football on The Fan. Catch the Bengals at the Ravens from Baltimore. Live coverage starts Thursday at 8.
Sponsored by Roosters, a fun casual joint.
Your radio home of the NFL, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Hey, it's Shark Carp and Beam here from Morning Juice. The NBA is back, as you may have noticed, and FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, wants you to catch all the action. Right now, FanDuel is giving everyone 3 months of NBA League Pass. All you have to do to catch every tip-off and buzzer beater is place any $5 bet on the NBA to get 3 months of NBA League Pass, courtesy of FanDuel. It's as easy as that, Beamer.
Absolutely it is. So if you're a Sacramento Kings fan here in Central Ohio, maybe you're a Trailblazers fan, heck, maybe you just want to watch the two play each other on a random Tuesday night at 11 o'clock, all you need to do is visit FanDuel.com/choose to make every moment more this season. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA.
Must be 21 or older in present Ohio. After 3-month free trial, full price of NBA League Pass will be automatically charged. Cancel anytime, no refunds, terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Limit 1 pass per customer. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. As we head into winter, you don't want to be stuck with old drafty windows making your heating system work overtime. Universal Windows Direct is here to help you keep your house warm and save you money on those energy bills. And here's the best part. Right now, for every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free, and there's no limit. On top of that, Universal Windows Direct is offering 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years. Restrictions apply because they always do. Call them today, 614-502-5220. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Fall is here and so are cooler temps. And are you craving some slow roasted turkey and dressing yet? Me? It's Bobby Carpenter. I love Thanksgiving. I just don't love it at Thanksgiving time. I love it all year long. And so the more I can get it, the better it is. So at Bob Evans, you don't have to wait to Thanksgiving to be able to enjoy their delicious turkey that's been slow roasted for 6 hours. Their turkey and dressing dinner plate is available any day for just $8.99. Or you can even try the turkey and dressing family meal to go at bobevans.com.
Saturday is game day on the Fan.
Sponsored by Riker Chevy.
Every game, every season, your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan. Drink recommendations, movie reviews, sports discussion, or whatever the hell Reeser does. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, Reese, what do we have on the poll?
The Daily Fan Poll asks, what team should be most upset about its college football playoff ranking? Indiana, BYU, SMU, or Army? 41% say Indiana should be the most upset. 37% say Army. 11% BYU. 9% SMU.
All right, it's the First Friday. Time for your officially endorsed. Hit it.
Bishop and Friends present First Friday. Officially endorsed because everyone deserves 2 Fridays.
You drink for the wrong reasons. My generation, we drink because it's good. Because it feels better than unbuttoning your collar. Because we deserve it. We drink because it's what men do.
I don't have a name for this one, but the warm temperatures this week got me thinking about a cocktail that I have in the summer, and I haven't recommended this one in a long time, but it's a good one. So it's a tequila-based cocktail. So we're going to go. You can use Gran Centenario as one of my favorites. Whatever your favorite tequila is. Gran Coromino makes a good Blanco as well. Take a highball glass. I'm sorry, a lowball glass. Fill it with rocks. 3 ounces of tequila over the rocks, and then a grapefruit squeeze on top. And enjoy, and it'll be nice on these warmer days as if you're looking for a cocktail on your First Friday. Time for 3 things. Hit it, boys.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Custom Air. Custom Air. Custom Solutions. Custom Comfort.
Number 1 to me, watching the college football playoff bracket and the election last night with the boys, doing a little civics class, and at one point, Bootsy says, "Dad, what is the Electoral College?" I said, well, how long you got, bud? You're going to learn about all of this at some point, trust me. And trying to explain it to him, and then the olders were like they kind of knew it, like NBC, he's 12, he definitely had a pretty good handle on it. 10-year-old Beamsy had very little handle on it. It led to about a 30-minute civics lesson, at the end of which I'm sure Bootsy retained nothing. Sure, he got nothing.
Yeah, I would imagine. I'm glad my kids ain't there yet.
Be there soon, buddy. They'll be there soon. Don't blink.
Number 1 for me, Big Ten Tailgate Show this Saturday. I am going to Oregon, and it's going to be an easy show. We're having a 3-man panel. Usually it's just me and Mike Hall, but this week we're having Kenyon Barner join the show, and he's going to be on the entire show. So that makes things for me easier, and we're going to have Sabrina Ashwagandha, what I call it, but it's Ionescu.
You're having her on?
She's
Ionescu?
Yeah, she's going to be on at the end of the show.
She is a star, Sabrina Ionescu. She's going to show up there. Do you know that her basketball shoe that she makes was the most popular men's college basketball shoe last year?
It's fire. I love that shoe.
All the Kentucky guys wore it when we went down to practice. They were all wearing that shoe.
Speaking of stars, the Ravens host the Bengals tomorrow night, Thursday night football. Yesterday, Jamar Chase was asked if preparing for a game Thursday night when you played Sunday is like cramming for a test in college.
I didn't study in school.
Sounds like a guy I know.
You didn't come here to play school. You didn't go to LSU to play school. That's great. Absolutely great. Number 2 for me. So I've got Yellowstone coming on Sunday, so we'll watch that. But then I need something. I like watching a show with the wife at the end of the night, and everybody keeps telling me this penguin is real.
Yeah,
so
that's what I hear too.
I keep hearing that. So
I'd
think
recommend it.
You're watching it?
Yep.
Do I need to watch the Batman first?
Yes.
Okay, so I should watch the Batman movie first, and then
the Pattinson ones.
The last Batman movie that came out?
The one with Pattinson? Okay.
It's like 4 hours.
Well,
I watched
it.
The funny thing is I watched it, but yes.
It's long?
It's not 4 hours long. There are points where it feels like it.
That movie like 3 hours and 40 minutes.
Oh, I got it.
Colin Farrell's Penguin is in it.
Okay. All right.
That's funny you bring it up. Maybe I'll watch that on my trip to Oregon this week. Number 2 for me, Cavs Pelicans tonight. The road to 82-0, baby. Let's go.
They're fun.
Let's go. I want to see a big game out of Evan Mobley. I've seen one out of Donovan. I've seen one out of Darius. I want Evan Mobley to give me a 30-point game.
Feels like one of those is coming. Like they're off to their best start since the 1976-77 season. Great sports night for Eric. Bobcats can stay alive with a win in the Mid-American Conference at Kent State. Rothman and Ice up next from 12 to 3. Adam Schefter is going to join the program at 12:33. A pretty busy day in the NFL and a pretty busy couple of weeks coming up for them.
Absolutely. No time for 3 today. Enjoy your first Friday, kids. Act accordingly. We're back tomorrow. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
The only show where sports talk is eclipsed by food talk. Donuts. Common Man and T-Bone.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan. This is a Fan Action Update.
Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit primesportsbook.com and use the promo code JUSTSPORTS for a welcome bonus of up to $100. The Buckeyes are the national championship favorites right now at plus 330, followed by Georgia at plus 350. Oregon is plus 450 and Texas 6-1 to win it all. Penn State's 20-1, Indiana 30-1. For your Prime Sports Action Update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
Thanksgiving can be stressful when you're shopping on a budget. Let Family Dollar help you do more this year with amazing deals on the supplies you need for a great turkey day, from prep to cleanup. See how you could save on Thanksgiving staples like canned soups and veggies, or essentials such as disposable plates and utensils, trash bags, storage supplies, and more. For even greater savings, download the Family Dollar app, clip available offers, and redeem at checkout. Family Dollar, helping you do more.
Dormar, your kind of hero.
Dorn, what's that guy yelling about in my noisemaker?
Dormar, your kind of hero.
Your climate hero, you fossil.
What's a climate hero?
That's Dormar, our same-day heating and AC company we've used for 60 years.
Who?
Dormar, your kind of hero.
Come on, Dad, you laugh every time you hear their tidy-whitey commercials.
Yep, those are funnier.
Dormar, your kind of hero.
Reichert Chevy's dealing in Dublin.
$2,500 low price guarantee.
With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Shop hundreds of vehicles at ReichertChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. We're dealing.
If you're struggling with ED or your performance is down and your belly fat is growing, listen up. You've got one life. Now is the time to act.
At the Columbus Men's Clinic, we're not just healthcare, we're your secret weapon. Don't wait another day. Here's why you need to act right now.
Every moment you delay, your condition could worsen. It's not just about sex, it's about your heart, your relationship, your life.
The Columbus Men's Clinic has over 10 years of proven results for low testosterone and increasing drive, energy level, and performance. We've introduced ED and enhancement treatments so exclusive, you'll wonder why you waited.
Procrastination is the thief of time. When it comes to your sexual health, you can't afford to wait. Join the League of Gentlemen who've walked out of our doors with a swagger.
Call the Columbus Men's Clinic at 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. Book your $99 male performance consultation now, including blood work. Call 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. The Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
Open a Platinum Rewards Visa at Kemba Financial Credit Union and secure super low everyday rates so you can pay down debt faster. Apply now at Kemba.org to unlock 2% cash back on purchases for a limited time and pay 0% interest for a full year on balance transfers plus exclusive perks. Restrictions apply. Offer ends October 31st, 2024.
At Giant Eagle, we know nothing saves you more money than free. So we're giving away free turkeys for your Thanksgiving feast. When you shop your neighborhood Giant Eagle October 17th through November 9th, you'll be earning your way to a free turkey to bake, roast, fry, smoke, grill, carve, and serve. Just spend $300 or more to earn your free turkey. Must scan Giant Eagle loyalty card. Redeem November 10th through 30th. Restrictions apply. Visit gianteagle.com/free turkey for details.
Let's face it, repairing or replacing your roof is a big decision. It's an investment in your home, your safety, and your peace of mind. But with so many roofing companies out there, how do you know which one to trust? How do you know your investment will be in good hands? Since 1992, Newman Roofing has been the family-owned company homeowners have relied on. We understand that roofing projects can be stressful. That's why we built our company around you, offering a white glove experience designed to make your roofing project as smooth and easy as possible. At Newman Roofing, we focus on the details because the details matter. Our craftsmanship, attention to quality, and commitment to service are second to none. Why? Because when your name is on it, it just means more. Your roof isn't just another project. It's our promise to deliver the very best. So, as the cooler weather approaches, don't wait. Get your Newman roof while there's still time this fall. Call us today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit us online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.